wrong intro. James logo wasn't on there, so I got two, and I got to get rid of one of them. But anyways, everybody, welcome to another episode of Talking Comics, and we brought in somebody else. It just felt natural for me to ask them, and thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, this is gonna. Hopefully, we'll be doing this with you every month. You're always welcome. Yeah. So, Sorel, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So this is a really simple show. Peter and I started it. I don't know how long ago, where we ask each other just 5 questions we started out with, I think, Peter.
Yeah.
And, naturally you go, why don't we ask James and, lower the questions? And they go, why don't we ask Sorel and lower the questions? So this time we each pick
when you say lower the questions, can you not make that sound like we're really thick? We'll lower the
questions. We didn't have to put in each 5 questions. We each did 2 questions around and 1 bonus question. But before we get started, Peter, take it away.
Yes, so let's see who we've got in the chat. Hey, we're smooth tonight. We are smooth tonight. We have got James Jokish. Cannot wait. Good stuff. We've got Unbox It all the way from Australia. Thank you very much for joining us. Unbox It, let me know in the chat when your show is tonight. If you can put, I don't know if you'll be able to add it in the chat just in case anybody's up. That'll probably be very late for us in the UK, but just so we can try and jump on if we can. We've got Wayne of the Deacon, the host, Sexy Sorel, Catwoman, and Pamela Triple G in his bikini. Dirty, dirty boy, Wayne. Efren, don't worry, there's no quiz. I think that was fun. We've got Ash. Hello again. Good to see you, Ash. Fuzzy Dunlop. We have to stop meeting like this. Always nice to see you, Fuzzy. Always nice to see you. We've got Terry. Good evening, people. Hope you're doing well, Terry. Terry did a cracking video recently, guys. Well worth checking out. Really enjoyed the format, Terry. He basically filmed wandering around his local kind of beach area. It's really nice to watch.
Oh, nice.
But he was talking a lot about getting some books signed at Thought Bubble and whether he should get them signed. So if you're the kind of, that's a good question for us, whether you're the kind of person that likes a signed book, and then if he does get them signed, should he get them graded? So it's a really good video, well worth watching. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Bell. It's a brave man that pulls his team back together so often after that quiz. Yeah. We've done the show tonight just because we need to go back over some of the questions for Efren from last week, just to explain it to him again. Let's have a look. We've got Joshy. Nice to see you, Joshy. Hope you're doing well, bud.
That was me, sorry.
Hello, Jesus. Oh, sorry. I thought the voices were coming back. We've got Jack. Yeah. Nice to see you, Jack. Talk about a crack team. Yeah. To look at. We've got Andrew. Good to see you, Andrew. Inclusivity wins again. What's the time there? We'll try and work out the math. So in the UK, it's 9 p.m. Efren, 1 p.m. your time?
1 p.m. I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah. Fuzzy, sorry, Wayne, 3 a.m. here. Wayne, it absolutely isn't, mate. You're looking at the clocks again, Wayne. Look at the big hands and the little hands. All right. So yeah, I think that's everybody, Efren. We've got a lot of people in the chat already. 16 people watching. Thank you so much. Please do hit that like and subscribe on Pass Point Comics, One Good Scare, Triple J Comics, and Super Sorel's channels.
Yep. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Ready. Bring it up. I have the first question. Okay. Here we go. Which Marvel character would best inherit the mantle of Batman? I'll go first and let you guys think about it. I didn't even think about it myself that much. Now that I think about it, which character would best handle? I would say my man Matt Murdock, Daredevil. I think he'd have the right type of mind to be able to handle the mantle of Batman the way he is. He reminds me a little bit of Batman, but Daredevil and street level hero too. So I think Daredevil, for me, Matt Murdock would be the one to handle the mantle of Batman.
It's funny because he's blind, so he would suit being a Batman more than, and he has like sonar kind of abilities, So like he would suit that more.
Yeah. James, you want to go next?
No, I'm still thinking. It's Daredevil would have been my go-to one.
I was going to say Daredevil. But then he said it, so I'll be Devil's Advocate and I'll say Iron Man. Just because he's another billionaire, a bit like Bruce Wayne. I can imagine he'd put the money of Batman to good use, and kind of have an Iron Man bat suit. That'd be amazing. James, are you chat GPT in the question?
Yeah.
No, I'm looking at rich Marvel characters for who like financially could support being Batman.
Chat GPT in the question.
I think that's a really hard question about Batman.
It
Or
is.
new Batman, different. I have to say, not that it's a cop out. I would have gone Tony Stark. Not necessarily linked to the whole billionaire thing, but I think to be Batman, you've got to be aloof and basically an arrogant prick, and think you're better than everybody else. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go into it with that mentality of I am so much more better equipped, better planned, better than you at everything, so I can take down anybody. And it's hard sometimes the way Tony is portrayed, not always, but sometimes the way he's portrayed is that kind of aloof, arrogant playboy. Do you know what I mean? So probably him. And as Sorrel said, you've got to have someone who's got access to the toys, the gadgets, and all that kind of stuff. So you probably are going for Tony. I would argue with you, not that I'm saying you're wrong, but I would argue with you that you are wrong. That Matt Murdock's too nice of a guy to be Batman. Do you know what I mean? He's not got that. He's not got that edge to him. Batman had plans to take down all of his best friends. He's got contingency plans to kill everybody else in the DC universe.
Oh, he's not as methodical.
Yeah,
like,
Matt Murdock's a Christian at heart. He's not going to go to that level, is he? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I agree with you. I think early Matt Murdock, but now the way he's been pushed and pushed by the Punisher and other characters, Bullseye. I mean, I know he has his Christianity, but man, he's been pushed to the edge a lot.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the Punisher as Batman? Oh,
Yeah, that would be good.
just a bat suit with a great big skull on it.
You just kill everybody. That's
Yeah.
Moon Knight, I think, would be a good one. Like,
Yeah, that's a good call.
they're quite similar. Like they have the gadgets.
Yeah.
They like in the comics at least, not so much the Netflix show or the Disney Plus show. But like I remember my first experience of Moon Knight, I was like, oh, this is basically Batman. Like where you had like the moon like plane kind of thing, and like moon cycle.
Moon Knight basically is the Marvel version of Batman. Well done, ChatGPT. That was excellent.
That wasn't even that wasn't on the list actually. I had that first, and then I gave up on the list because it was telling me Doctor Doom and stuff.
You're being called out in the chat as well. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just
It's not cheap. Looking for
Reed
inspiration.
Richards. That's an interesting one. Reed
I was
Richards.
thinking of that too. Yeah.
Again, quite cold at times, isn't he? When they portray him sometimes very analytical. So yeah. Blade. That's a great call, Fuzzy. Didn't think of Blade.
Oh, Vampire Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, that would be a good one too. There's there's no bad answer. I don't think there is, for this. So, but is there any more comments? No.
So you pick the 3 ChatGPT options there, boys. But only one of which checked it. Split personality Batman, cock off.
Well, like, Batman has Batman is one personality and Bruce Wayne is another personality, and then the real Bruce Wayne is another one, so I think it still works.
Squirrel Girl. The unbeatable Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, there you go. Thinking out of the box. Okay. Let me get back here, get rid of mine. And Peter, you're up next. You ready? You remember your question?
Nah.
Peter, you are up.
Oops, sorry.
Sorry.
Don't get so defensive, James. Calm down. My question. What was it? I can't read it. Should comics do more to reflect my camera's in the way of where it's saying it?
Real world issues.
Okay, yeah. So we've got a lot going on in the world, obviously, at the moment. Comics kind of dip the toe in current events now and then, and obviously you can never please everybody. But I'm thinking more of, World War II, we had clear imagery of Captain America punching Hitler and things like that. 9/11, we had some fabulous comic books where people rallied around, and there's a heartbreaking issue of Spider-Man attending the World Trade Center and just the magnitude of the heroes being able to do anything. So there is an argument, I think, for comics and art to reflect reality and to try and put a spotlight on some of the injustices of the world, but also there's an absolute argument to say actually you read a comic because you want to get away from the real world.
Yeah.
You want escapism. You want to switch your brain off to it all. And I'm not quite sure where I sit. I'm naturally drawn to, as I've said to you before, the moralistic characters. Your Captain Americas, your Matt Murdock's for somebody, Superman, all that kind of stuff. So part of us would love nothing more than to see them. I'm going to save you the embarrassment, Efren, of talking about American politics. I would love nothing more than seeing, Captain America punching Nigel Farage in his shriveled up turtle tosspot face. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But then again, do I want to see that in me comics as well? I don't know. I think Star Wars, as an example, has done a real good job of mixing political message with sci-fi without it feeling too in your face. So yeah, hard question to ask. Efren, what do you think?
To a certain point, I say yes. I agree with you. The one from 9/11, the Spider-Man one, I read that one. God, you could really feel the pain. It was a comic book, but it was, heartfelt. Political wise, I would say no. Leave it out of comics, but world events like World War II, a perfect example. That was in comic books too. So any of those events, I know they say comic books are for kids, more kids, but a lot of adults read them too, So I kind of lean towards yes to a point.
Okay. I think comics have always been political. Like civil rights back in the day, putting black characters in leading roles was unusual, and Stan Lee pushed for that. So they've always been reflected. But I remember James Gunn said recently, DC is like a fictional universe, so there's not really supposed to be comparators to modern events. Was COVID a thing in Marvel? Did they go through COVID at any point? What happened in the universe?
Don't remember it being referenced. I can't remember it being referenced.
Yeah, but it depends on the thing. One of the things I'm loving about The Boys TV show is how it's riffing off of real world events, and I think that is, I think there's a place for making real world comparisons or taking inspiration from real figures and stuff like that. So I'm not. It very much depends on how it's done and what the context is, I think.
Yeah. How I guess you go into it. So, for example, you've referenced The Boys there. I think you know what The Boys is. Do you know what I mean? You go into it knowing that you're going to get that. Whereas, I don't know, seeing political messages shoehorned into, say, a copy of Amazing Spider-Man might feel out of place in some regards. What do you think, Sorrel?
When events like 9/11 happened, it was so earth-shattering and changed the world as we know it forever. So that needed to be a reference, or at least a few panels of things in the comics, especially as Marvel being a New York company mainly. So I think that was needed. But just regular references to the world, like Donald Trump and what's happening in the world politically, I don't think that's got a place in books. We need escapism. But when something major happens, like the fall of Nazi Germany and the Trade Center, they're points in history that should be referenced.
Yep.
But I think just any old reference is pointless and silly. Yeah. They don't need to have Donald Trump in the comic books being punched. You know what I mean? That's not a thing that no one needs to see. Yeah. Well, we do, but no, we don't. But you know what I'm saying? I think it needs to be saved for those special moments. Otherwise, it's not special.
Yeah. Let's see what the chat thinks. Terry, no, I read for escapism. Yep, that's fair, Terry. I kind of hate it when comics do current. I'm trying to escape the horrors of the real world here. Should be an escape from reality. Lots of people are... Ooh, fuzzy nose. Lots of people are agreeing on that. No, the second they do, people moan. We don't need politics in comics. They can't win, especially in a world even more divided. That is very, very true, Fuzzy. Ellen Studios, nice of you to join, mate. Hope you're well. Comics are the best escapism today. They are. You can take yourself to a world and switch off from what's happening in reality, I guess. I don't want to see Deadpool reflecting real world issues, but yes, sometimes. Love to see real life Wonder Woman on a night out. Should take some inspiration from Star Trek. Yeah, I think Star Trek does politics very well, Andrew, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I think you're right. If you bring real life into comics, how does the story end? That's a good point, Terry. Yeah, don't know. American talk shows, I don't even know why you would watch them. They're always talking about Trump, and whether you like him or not, I don't see why you would want to always watch media reminding you. It's become the hot thing to talk about, isn't it? It's on everything you switch on to. Fuzzy, I don't want to see Deadpool ever. Lol. Yeah.
I will say, like, that is how I follow what's happening, like, over there, is I watch, like, Seth Meyers' Closer Look and Stephen
Jon
Colbert
Stewart for
monologues.
me. Stephen Colbert.
Jon Stewart's great. John Oliver, phenomenal show as well.
Yeah.
Last week tonight, so, yeah.
There you go. That's a nice light question. That's the kind of light questions we'll get here, Sorrel, just to break it in nicely.
Yeah. All right.
Don't worry, we'll talk about ice cream flavours or sandwiches in a minute. Don't worry.
James, you're up. You ready?
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but... Yeah,
Okay.
Who should play the DCU Batman? I'll start. Like, Jensen Ackles is one that's been flowing around, and I love Jensen Ackles. I love him to a T. And if he got it, I'd be really happy. But there's another name thrown around that I heard, and I was watching a movie called. The name of it's escaping me, but Peter, it's the one in the restaurant where the girls drop. It's like she's getting messages and
I've
stuff.
seen
And
that.
the main character's on a date, and the date shows up, and I was looking at him like, that guy looks like he'd be a good Batman. What's his name? And it was the same name. It's Brendan Sklenar. So he's in Yellowstone as well. He's one of the characters in that, and like people love him in that. A name that's thrown around for quite a lot. And I think he's like a David Cornsweet-esque, like the same caliber of actor. So, like, as much as I love Jensen Ackles, I'd love to see him step in. I think if he was cast, he'd be my number one for it, I think.
So this actor. He's even said he wanted to be Batman. He's in the Reacher TV series. It's a big man. It's I have to look his name up. Alan Ritchson. He says he wants to be Batman. I think he'd be a good Batman. He's a brooding type. Doesn't talk much. Just does what he has to do. So that's who my choice would be.
He's so big, though. He'd be a good Bane or something. Like, he's so massive. Like, how'd you even make a bat suit for someone that huge? He'd tower over, like, Superman in it.
Yeah. But that still would be my choice. He's a big guy. So
He's a good actor, yeah.
So I like his acting.
Sorrel?
I'm trying to think of his name.
Michael
The guy,
Keaton. That's the one I'm thinking of.
the guy that played Cyclops,
James Marsden.
James Marsden. I think he could make a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would. As he's getting more mature now, I can imagine if he beefed up a little bit, I think he could play Batman pretty easily.
That's a good point. Never thought about him. Yeah, he is getting a little bit old though. Yeah, if he's going to do it, they have to do it quick with him. He's getting
Well, like,
I like the maturer Bruce Wayne. Like when they did George Clooney. I know a lot of people hated Clooney, but I thought Clooney was a good Bruce Wayne. A shit Batman, but he's a good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You need for someone to play Batman. You don't just need someone who looks good in a suit. You need someone that also looks good playing Bruce Wayne. It's a big part of the role.
That's true.
I think James Marsden will be all right.
I don't know if he's even that, because he's in the Sonic movies and he doesn't look like particularly old. Like, he's probably only in his pushing 50, and they are doing the whole Damian Wayne thing, so they would be an actor in their 40s that they're going for.
It depends what era Batman you're going for in this universe. If it's a young one or an older version. If it's a young Batman, I'm kind of down with it being an unnamed, someone I don't know. I didn't really know who Cornsweet was when he was cast as Superman.
Yeah,
To be quite honest, maybe it's just my naivety, I didn't really know who Christian Bale was. I don't think I'd seen much of him. So I kind of want somebody that I see as Batman first, not as, that's Tom Cruise playing Batman. Do you know what I mean? So for me, someone I'm not familiar with would be good. If they're going for an older Batman, I'm still salty that we didn't get a kind of a Batman Beyond with Keaton back in that role. But I was also really excited when DC was moving towards having a bit of a Flashpoint universe before the Flashpoint movie totally balls it up. And we had, I get the name wrong. What's the guy who played, is it Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, yeah.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan from Walking
amazing.
Dead is a kind of a grizzled Thomas Wayne whose Bruce Wayne was killed. Thomas Wayne becomes Batman. I think that could be pretty spectacular. I would have loved to have seen that.
So
Let's see what we've got
I'm now
in the
picturing
chat.
Batman going, hot diggity dog.
Hot dog.
That kind of thing just tickles my balls.
Let's see what we've got in the chat. Fuzzy would say Blade again. It would be interesting. The obvious answer is Christian Bale. You'd make a great Batman. He did. You're absolutely right. Keegan as Batman is the only answer. I'd love to see Keegan in the Batsuit. That would be
I
interesting.
bet you would.
Ken Barlow should play Batman. I'd be able to just push you over and you'd be like a weebly wobbly. You'd be lying, not being able to get up or move because the costumes are that rigid, aren't they?
Okay.
Yeah, Fuzzy. I think the more and more that the newbie. Sorry, yeah, absolutely. Wayne Deacon needs a job. We could see if Wayne could do it. That would be interesting. Seriously, someone none of us have ever heard of. Yeah, I agree. Michael C. Hall, Dexter. Ooh, getting a second season. Don't know if you guys have seen that. Being announced today. Yeah. Back in the day, I could have seen that. Now he's a bit old, isn't he? I'm not sure, but yeah, back in the day, could have been superb as that. Sorrel Behave. That I do. Be a Timu Batman. I'd watch the Adventures of Wayne, Batman of London. Have you seen the promos for that Batman cartoon that's coming out? Batman Family.
Bat Family or something.
What?
It looks very weird.
What
And it's
the
like,
shit's all that about?
yeah, I don't
Anyway.
know. I didn't watch the trailer, but the poster looked really weird.
Yeah. Jokes aside, I really think they should have just put Patterson in the role. If there was no delays on Batman Part 2, we would have seen it by now.
Last week or something when it was supposed to come out. I wouldn't be against them like doing, like Kevin Conroy plays Batman in various different things and different versions. To literally just put Pattinson in and just say it's a different Batman, but it's still Pattinson, But maybe audiences will find that too confusing, maybe.
I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of the Batman, but I don't know. I think we kind of just need something fresh and new. Someone we don't really know, That's my take.
Cool. Are we all caught up?
Yep.
All right. Sorrel, it's your very first question on the show. You ready?
He's going to lose his virginity. Come
All
on.
right. You're up.
If you go back in time and reread any comic for the first time, which would you choose? So for me, I grew up reading the X-Men books. That was my thing. It was those great big the essentials they used to be called, big black and white things. My dad used to buy me them because it was like 15 quid to buy one back in the day, and it would last me months of reading as a child. So I used to read them. But I wish we could go back and reread all those original style books, like the X-Men run, the original run. I wish I could reread that series again. What about you guys?
Do you mean experience it for the first time?
Yeah. So like you could go back and experience it again for the first time, not knowing what happened, the outcome, without knowing anything. It's like what book really spoke to you?
So sorry, excuse me. I guess the first thing, it's not related to your question in some regards, but the first thing is quite often when you go back and reread some of those original books, they don't stand up. They are hard to read, as some of we've done on various review channels. But in terms of that emotional impact, I have to say there's a modern book for me and an older book, so I'm going to take two picks. My modern book will not surprise anybody. I've talked about it at length and I bore people to tears with it. It's Stray Dogs. The emotional impact of that story for me, the first time I read it, was the most emotion I've felt in a comic book in years. Literally, as I've said before, known in my head, oh Christ, I think this is where they're going with the story. And then getting to that point and thinking, I don't want to turn the page, because if they're going where I think they're going to go, I don't want to see that. And then you turn the page and you're like, oh my God. So yeah, so Stray Dogs, absolutely. But in terms of pure shock value, before it became a big thing, killing characters and spectacle of big events and stuff like that, the original Death of Superman 75, the whole lead up of Doomsday being so well kind of just dropped. I don't know if you guys have read the full run, but basically for months and months before that happened, every few issues you would get basically a panel of a mountainside and it would say boom, boom, boom. And it was like, what's that? And then it would just end. And then a couple of issues later, you'd see more banging. And then a few issues later, you'd see a hand come through. And it just built and built and built. And then you actually got the Death of Superman. And the first kind of event comic I can remember is that, where you bought the bag and you got the obituary in with the comic, paper obituary. There was a black armband for you to wear and mourn him. And it was just... I'd never experienced the death of a hero. It was reported on mainstream news. Do you know what I mean? You had BBC News saying Superman has died. It was massive. So to experience that again, I think would be pretty good, I think. Long answer, sorry.
That's a good answer. Mine would be, I started collecting comic books and reading them in the early 1970s. And there's just one crossover. To me, this was the first crossover event that I had ever read. And I go, gosh, it just really propelled me into just really making comic books, for my whole life. It was the original Avengers Defenders crossover event. They were after this one artifact. It was this artifact that was like splintered. It was like an orb type thing. It's such a long time ago that I read it. But that one really had an impact on me and made me want to, read comic books for the rest of my life. It was a great event. It was the Avengers versus the Defenders. You had Hawkeye versus Iron Man, Thor versus Hulk, of course. And I forgot who Submariner was fighting. I forgot who he was fighting, but that was a crossover event. It was about 6 or 7 issues that kept on crossing over from Avengers to Defenders. That's the one from my childhood that I remember. If I could read all over again, just the excitement of reading that book. Wow, what a crossover events. I was about 10, 11 years old when I read that. Yeah. So, I was a kid. That one always stuck to me. God, that was such a great storyline.
It is. It's a good story. It holds up. It's a good book to read.
For me, it's Watchmen. Like, that was just an experience. First time I read that, I think the movie was coming out and I was really excited for it. So I said, I'll read the comic first. And I was just blown away. I think the twists were really great and then the characters were so good. Like this murder mystery thing going on, but with superheroes. It's probably the darkest or most mature superhero thing I'd ever experienced at that point. I probably was 13 or something like that. Yeah, just read it and just how crazy it goes. I know Efren hasn't read it, so I won't spoil, but just how crazy it goes at the end of it. It's such a left field thing that happens at the end. Yeah, and even the little things within it, like the Tales of the Black Freighter stuff and all. I'd absolutely adored it. So yeah, I'd love to just fresh, not knowing what Watchmen is, go back and do that again.
Yeah, just want to say as well before we move on as well, it just come back to me while you guys were talking. My first major crossover event that I'd love to go back to again was the House of M. That was the first major big event that I remember. I remember me and my cousins being young. We were we were young. I remember my uncle taking us to the comic book store to physically buy those books, buy all the different tie-ins and reading those No More Mutants. Those 3 little words at the end. And reading that was massive.
I was going to pick another one. It was only 2 issues long, but I went, man, this is such a good storyline. It was Days of Future Past from the X-Men.
Oh,
that one I was like, oh my gosh. It was only, and it was amazing, but it was only 2 issues and it just an alternate reality. What happened, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah.
There's more than one choice for that. That was a good question. Yep.
It's only 2 issues.
Yeah.
Only 2 issues.
Longer.
It's such an influential thing. It's 2 issues long.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. There's 2 issues.
They've gone back and revisited it on a few occasions and kind of beefed the story out a little bit. And they've done the current X run, the X event 10 years in the future at the moment, pinches from it very much. So in this story, the move Beast and Cyclops' essence from our time to 10 years in the future, rather than the other way around from Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting.
Yep.
And of course, we got the movie based in it, didn't we? So
yeah,
it was good. See what the guys in the chat are saying. I enjoy my independence and mid dependence. However, for me, I can go back and reread something and Kingdom Come. How can I forget?
Oh yeah, there you go.
That was an outstanding read, and I still have the trade. Yeah, I've got the trade behind us. Yeah, I've got the Absolute Edition. Kingdom Come's a classic. You read that one, James?
No, not yet.
Well worth a read.
Yeah, I've been meaning to because you talk about it so much.
Stray Dogs was fantastic. The answer is The Dark Knight Returns. Uncle Frank will do you no wrong. I mean, Dark Knight Returns is a classic. There's no getting away from that. It is a phenomenal book. I'd reread the first time the entire run, including the showcase of Metal Men. Love all that science. Throw in Metamorpho as well. Yeah, I don't think I've ever read the originals. Watchmen, more than a comic. It's a rite of passage. It is. It's stunning. The Stainless Steel Rat. Yeah, I remember reading that one, 2000 AD. I love Harry Harrison already. This is difficult. Intentionally ignoring some obvious classics. Marvel's Annihilation. Yeah, that's an amazing crossover event. I've never read Why the Last Man. Any of you? I've got it behind us here. Any of you guys read Why the Last Man?
No.
The TV series only lasted one season, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of Claremont's X-Men. Yep. First major crossover event was Image, Valiant, and Deathmate. I loved that so much, and each book was self-contained. Never read it, Emin. Never read it. I've not read a lot of Valiant. Have any of you guys read much Valiant?
I've never read one Valiant book.
Not one thing, I don't think. Yeah.
I watched the Bloodshot movie, and I recently read, because they've relaunched the universe, so I reread, I read the issue 1 of Exo Man of War.
Didn't Valiant become DC?
No.
No, are they still the independent?
Yeah. Phil, nice to see you, Phil. Growing up in the 80s, I never remember any superhero comic books being available. It was the Beano, Dandy, and Commando. I must have lived in a sheltered life. I tell you what, Phil, one of the ones that I've bought recently, a couple of copies of, was a comic book called Oink. Any of you guys read Oink?
No.
Fantastic. It's a comic book written by pigs. So it's called Oink. Obviously, it's all the stories are pig based, and the kind of, you see the writing team and it's pigs. It's typical British madness. Tragedy. Invincible. I've never read Walking Dead.
I did.
You guys read Walking Dead?
I read the first 3 volumes or something like that.
That's I've got the first 3 of the graphic novels, and that's as far as I got.
I'm reading Invincible now. I'd never read it before. I never put much attention to that book for some reason. I can't believe I missed this the first time around.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Is it worth, because I like the show, is there enough extra stuff in it that it's worth going and reading the book anyway?
You're a fan of, you read the what you call it, man, the dragons and stuff. Mon.
The Game of Thrones.
You've read the books for that, haven't you? I think, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you quite like, I guess what I'm getting at, James, you like books that have got a bit of a long play to them. The story builds over volumes and years. Yeah. That's exactly what you get with Invincible. If you go in expecting to read 3 issues and have fighting in every issue and stuff like that, you're not going to get that. But if you read a block of 20 issues, you'll fall in love with the characters and be invested with what happens with them going forward. You know?
What I like about Invincible is just it's like average lifestyle. He's a teenager. It's like Peter Parker syndrome, basically Spider-Man. He's a teenager with all these problems, and he finds out he's a superhero.
Yeah.
But it's modernized. It's a good story. I've been enjoying it.
Alex, mine was Cherry. I was 13 and felt all tingly. Okay. They relaunched it and had to put out an apology for the first issue. What's that, Fuzzy? Sorry, we've moved on the comments. Is that Valiant, Fuzzy? Big fan of Rye from Valiant. Don't think I've ever read. Which one's that? Is that he looks like a samurai, or he's got a sword? Is that Rye? The red.
I think so. I'm not sure though. I've never read it though.
I'm reading the deluxe version of Walking Dead. Never read the black and white. It's up to issue 120 and still enjoying it.
It's gonna end pretty soon.
Yeah. Good question, Sorrel. Good question.
Yeah, that was a good question. Let's get back and up. I'm next again. If you could participate in the production of any movie, which would it be? I picked this one because I recently seen a documentary of it. I'm going, gosh, I would have loved to have been there just to see how they made this movie. They're saying it was the first blockbuster summer movie. It would be the original Jaws. Just the production of that movie, how it was made, all the problems with the shark, and just having people as extras from the little town that it came from. So, pardon. I would pick Jaws. That was fascinating how they made that movie. Steven Spielberg said he had PTSD after that. Just the pressure of making that movie, having it fulfilled. It's amazing how they made that movie. That would be my choice.
That's an interesting one, Ephraim, because you've taken that question a different way to what I would have answered, or how I'm going to answer.
Okay.
You've answered it in terms of something you would get enjoyment from being on set and watching the process and stuff like that. I'm coming at it more from an ability to influence the film.
Okay.
And to get it how I think it should be. So my immediate response is Masters of the Universe, in that because of the way we've gone through Transformers and some of the other live action versions of comic books, I would like someone like me who's got a passion for the original property to be there, kind of just making sure that that's fed into it, because there's a danger, isn't there, with all of these properties that I've told you this before, I recently watched the documentary about the making of the original Masters of the Universe film with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
And there's a bit in that just pissed me off no end, where the guy who's in charge of designing the costumes and stuff was really quite negative and insulting towards the cartoon and said, we're not listening to any of that. This is our film. We're making how we want to make it. And it was like, no, that's not the point. You're making a property out of nostalgia and all the rest of it because that's what people want to see to an extent. So yeah, so I would want to be involved with Masters. I think.
You'd be tapping the director's shoulder. Excuse me, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're full of shit. You're full of shit, man. But if I was to answer it from the other way, which is something I would just like to be part of to see,
Yeah.
absolute nerd fest, it's got to be Star Trek Generations. You've got William Shatner and Patrick Stewart
Yeah, that was a
on
good one.
screen together. You know, just being in their presence would be phenomenal.
Yeah. So you guys can answer it either way, my way or Peter's way. So any answer is good.
Like, assuming that I'm just a grip or something like that, my mind jumped to like I think just a horror movie would be really a fun thing to take part in. So like maybe the Evil Dead remake or something like that, where they're just spraying blood at the actress. So that'd be fun. But I think like Out of Time. Like an early Star Wars movie where you're going to all these amazing places around the world and still practical, and just being a Star Wars fan, seeing how they make it and everyone walking around the set and the costumes and everything. I think it'd be just like a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too.
After watching the whole Netflix like documentary thing about films and stuff, from the people that did the toy one, the making of Jurassic Park, I'd love to have been there for that and seen them making those big props. And because like when they said they did that scene with the Triceratops, that was an actual real breathing animatronic that they brought to life and made the actors feel like they were in the presence of an actual dinosaur. Seeing all that come to life would be amazing, and the birth of real kind of CGI being used in a film like that scale for the first time, really, isn't it? I know it's been used before, but at that point it was like they didn't believe they could bring the T-Rex to life in computers, and they were really against it. And then some guy managed to pull it off, and that film looks awesome to this day, doesn't it? Still a good movie.
That's a good. They're all good answers. God, that Jurassic Park one, I didn't think about that one. When that movie first came out, I was like amazed by it. I was like, oh my.
Yeah. They brought dinosaurs back to life. That was amazing.
That's awesome. That's
I tell you one I wouldn't want to be part of, and that's The Shining, because freaking hell, that sounds like it was a horrific set to be part of, with abuse and mental breakdowns and just horrendous, absolutely horrendous.
I'm sorry, Peter. If we're going to a movie we would not want to be part of, or me with my, I was raised Catholic. I would not, as you couldn't get me near the set of The Exorcist. I said no way, man.
But yeah, Linda Blair is at that horror convention that we're going to.
Where is she?
Yeah. So she said she's not signing Ouija boards. People apparently were getting her to sign Ouija boards. She won't do them. So they put out a statement.
Yeah.
James, I'm surprised you didn't say you would love to be part of the Hocus Pocus set. I know you're a big fan of that.
That's the one I wouldn't. That's the one I would. Well, maybe I would conquer my fears if I saw how it was made. I'd be up flirting with Sarah Jessica Parker. That'd be good.
Yeah. Let's see what the chat are saying, guys. Andrew's just confirming about Rai. Quoting Wiki, in his original incarnation, Rai is the spirit guardian that protects the nation of Japan in the 41st century. Yeah. I'm sure I've seen images of him before with an Uzi and a sword in hand or something. Ash, Robin Williams, Popeye. The problem with that, Ash, is I dare say you won't remember anything about it.
Yeah.
Because I think there was so much.
Imagine how many times you had to hear her sing that song. And he's like,
yeah. Well, there's the stories about them shipping cocaine in film tins and things.
We did the movie on Alberta back. I remember that it was like the crew was just everyone was
off the face as well.
Everyone was off their.
You would have to be making that a film. It looked mad.
Chris Bell, Star Wars. I'd love to play with all the little models. Yeah, that would be pretty. And just being there at the birth of that with Lucas now.
That universe. Yep.
Sorry, I knew porn would be your answer. If we're talking about previous movies, I'd love to help with the production of the original Transformers, the movie. Or if it's for any up-and-coming project, any Guy Ritchie movie would be fun. I'm not a big fan of Lock, Stock and those kind of movies, although some of his recent films I'm not a big fan of. But yeah, Guy Ritchie's an incredible director. I've got a degree in science fiction. My voice isn't working tonight. A degree in science fiction, I said there. Purely because I wanted to make a Star Trek movie. Yeah, the Star Trek film would be class. I'd like to have been there for the Chaplin or Buster Keaton films just to see how great they really are. Was watching it wasn't a documentary, Fuzzy, but it was like a little story thing or something on Instagram a while ago about some of the special effects and the practical effects in Buster Keaton films. The one where the building falls on him and things like that. And
there's one where he jumps through a window.
Yes,
to the middle of someone, and then the girl had to drop her legs. That's crazy. It's crazy how creative they got back then. Like
the building falling one. If it had just been a few centimeters off or a few foot off,
I heard that too.
He would have just been flattened. It is literally push a building on him and hope the door, he lands. It's just freaking
crazy,
incredible. The original True Grit with John Wayne. Yeah, that would be impressive. The Confessions films would probably be interesting, but that's my age. Yeah. Keegan is desperately thinking Two Girls, One Cup.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Efren's too innocent. You'll not know what that film is.
I think we've talked about it before.
Yeah, it's not one to Google, Efren.
No,
don't check that one.
That could be fake, though. That could have been an ice cream machine, It looks like ice cream.
No, it does not. It does not.
It does. It looks like a chocolate ice cream.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Witnessing Keaton's stunts would be mint. Yeah, I agree. Love the promotional content for the Cloverfield. Yeah, the mystery built and the anticipation film. Yeah, that was superb, Morgan. A dream job. Could you imagine if you were in the original cast of the very first Blair Witch and didn't tell you really what you were doing or what you were filming?
Oh wow,
that would be pretty scary.
Traipsing through the woods.
Yeah. Dream job project is to voice any Transformer. Yeah, that would be spectacular. Indy.
Well, didn't everybody get sick? And that's why they had to cut the...
Did they? I didn't know.
Yeah, the bit where he shoots the guy with the sword was supposed to be a whole fight sequence.
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody had dysentery or something. And they just said, we'll just end the thing.
Terrifier 3, Joshy. Craigie. Just to see the
it would be cool to see how it's... Like, I love watching behind the scenes of horror movies and how they do these effects and stuff. Like, it's great.
James is thinking of Buddy. Inception or Tenant, just to see if I can understand either any easier. Yeah. First stream in a while. Congrats on the 100k, Sorrel. Is the Mel Gibson look part of the new era?
Do I have a Mel Gibson look? Jesus.
I don't know.
I'm not on the floor eating cheeseburgers.
Does Mel Gibson look like Sorrel? I don't know. The Poltergeist was pretty grim, apparently. That's one of the... I mean, we've talked on One Good Scare many a time about it. Poltergeist, one of the films that really screwed me up as a kid. Yeah. Ouija board is a trademark name, like Coca-Cola. Yeah. I think we talked about that a while ago. Didn't we do a special about
Hasbro?
Ouija boards or something.
Yeah, the Ouija movie is technically a board game movie.
Yeah. Back to the Future would be good. Sorry, Fuzzy. God. Not one.
Jesus.
Okay, moving on.
Peter, you're up. You ready?
Someone might have to read the question because I can't see because it's stupid bloody camera.
Okay, I'll read it for you. You ready?
Crack on.
Should villain redemption arcs be more common, or do they weaken villains?
Yeah, I've talked about this loads and loads of times because it gets right on my tits. This is where we get a villain who transforms over time into a superhero or a heroic character for a while. So we've seen it with some characters that I find acceptable, like Flint, like Sandman, because he was never really a proper bad guy to start with. But then we've had characters like the Green Goblin, Norman Osborn. We've had the Juggernaut. We've had Venom to an extent. I miss the fact that we've just got good bad guy characters. I think the problem is Harley Quinn's another example of it, I guess. I think the thing they do is they get a character, they become popular, the fans like them, so they try and think of ways that can sell many more comic books, and you cannot really have your big guy, your big hero character bumping off people, so they start to weaken them in terms of them being a villain and turning them into more hero or archetypes. I just like a good villain. I don't want to see, I don't want to see the Juggernaut now working alongside the X-Men. He should be the protagonist. I don't want to see, for a long time they had Sabretooth as an X-Man, working with the X-Men. I don't want to see that. That he's meant to be Wolverine's nemesis. Do you know what I mean? So I don't mind it to an extent for some minor characters and characters that it makes sense with, but it boils my piss when it's characters that are just popular villains. So let's transform them into heroes. That's my take.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, it's too common now. It feels like that no one can just be a bad guy. Like, I don't mind doing something new with a character. Is fine, and some characters suit it more than others. But like, you have like what Sony was doing with the villain movies, where they just like made every character they had access to, the Craven and stuff.
James, that's a cracking point. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Craven, what the shit was all that about? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he loves animals. He protects them now. Like it's just stupid. So like, I think like Venom is an example where that kind of worked. I think Harley Quinn to an extent worked as well. But you're absolutely right that it's sometimes like a character is just so evil, like, it would make more sense if you need the characters to team up. You just force them into a scenario where they have to. You don't change who they are as a character. So like, I like depth, but like, you don't need to turn everyone into an anti-hero or a hero.
Yeah.
So I have two examples. Years ago, it's been over 5 to 10 years now, I think. Sandman from Marvel, he was starting to become a good guy. Little by little, he was just starting to, reevaluate his life. He had a kid, and little by little, he started helping out the Avengers. He would hang out with the Thing, and then somebody, I forgot who, put a spell on him to basically stay a villain. Be on the bad guy side. But I used to like. They had pictures of him like on the front cover of the Avengers, like leading the Avengers to a point. And I liked that arc, and I was bummed out that they put a spell on him and he became the regular Sandman again. And you were talking about Sabretooth, where he became a good guy for a while. There was this event, I forgot what it was called, and Red Skull became the White Skull. And I'm sorry, but I like that storyline. Yeah. It showed his humanity, his friendship with Captain America, his remorse, and I was like, wow, I really dig this. But at the end, he switched back to being the Red Skull, which I think is natural, which he should have stayed. Should have remained as a Red Skull. But I did like that storyline when he became a good guy for a little bit,
And I guess that's slightly different, Efren, in that there's been some kind of event that's turned him, I guess. This is not just a general character progression and acceptance, because in my mind, the Red Skull is a confirmed Nazi murderer. At no point is he a good guy. Do you know what I mean? You can't make him a good guy unless it's some kind of mind wipe, whatever. A bit like they've done with Norman Osborn. I mean, Norman Osborn was a serial killer nutcase. So why all of a sudden he's a good guy makes no sense to me,
He's a good guy now, but he's not like 100% good guy like Spider-Man. There's still some shadiness with him. So, but I kind of like this Norman Osborn. I think they just come to a point where we don't know where to go with these characters. So, we're going to do a 180.
Yeah. Sorrel, what do you think?
I like bad guys to be bad guys with no rhyme or reason. I don't need that humanity side of them, really. They just need to be there to be punished by the superhero, in my opinion. But anyway, like with recently we had the Strangers movie, and they ruined that. They ruined that movie by giving them a good side almost. They tried to humanize them, try and make them more relatable and human. And that, no, the whole point of that film was random acts of violence on random people. That's what that movie's meant
point
to
of the
be
series,
about.
literally.
Yeah, the Strangers. Trying to give them a backstory is just silly. So like, I prefer when they keep villains just as bad guys. I don't need rhyme or reason. Just they're a bad guy. Go at it. I don't need a backstory for it.
I mean, if you think in the Venom universe, we've got Cletus Cassidy, who's introduced as a serial killer, gets the Carnage symbiote. I always get that word wrong. That's all I need from that particular character. All I need to know is he's a serial killer and he's now got this big red costume. I don't need much more than that. Just leave him as nutcase bad guy, you know?
And when they're doing these comic books based on these villains, that's what I'm going into that comic book expecting that, because that
Yeah.
is the character. I want to see him being. I want a comic book where he's an absolute nutbag doing things and then getting thwarted by Venom or whoever, but from his point of view, not from Venom's point of view for once. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It absolutely, and it's interesting. And again, I am no expert in this, and there'll be people in the chat who can correct us on it. I'm used to Venom from 20 years ago when he was attacking Spider-Man. He was terrifying MJ and all that kind of stuff. I picked up the last week's anniversary issue with the reintroduction of Null, and I swear to God, the first few pages, because Venom is now incorporated into MJ.
Yeah.
So MJ's got the Venom symbiote. Listening or reading, the conversation between MJ and the Venom symbiote, I just wanted to tear the comic up. It was like, what is this shit? This is not Venom. This is not. It's like, it just wound us up.
Well, Carnage is now Eddie Brock.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And they're having internal fights. Carnage just wants to kill and eat people. And, Eddie Brock's saying, no, we can't do that. So there's an internal fighting that they're having inside while he's still being Carnage, So
let's see what the chat thinks, guys. They don't weaken them in the same way. Deaths don't matter. We just read on and accept it. We do. You're right, Fuzzy. I prefer a villain that just keeps getting darker, more twisted, and less likable. Let villains be villains. I'm with you, Chris. That's a great point, Phil. Negan from The Walking Dead. Excellent. He was an incredible villain, but then they turned him around into this kind of, wuss, really. I haven't read the recent stuff with him in, but certainly towards the end of the normal series, Negan, for me, was just a non-entity. He didn't impact. Sorrow?
I was going to say, mate, that, if you think back to, Cruella de Vil, in the first 100 Dalmatians movie, she's just a witch for no reason. Yeah. She just kills dogs, and that's her thing, right? And then they made that god-awful film with Emma Stone where they tried to give her a reason and a backstory.
I thought that was all right. I enjoyed that.
They tried
I agree that these villain origin things are a bit like...
But they tried to turn her into a hero, just like we're saying with Venom and stuff. They're turning the good villains into heroes all the time. It's annoying.
I would say, for many other different reasons, I did enjoy looking at Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
But if she were, I would have preferred it if she were a straight up bad guy the whole way through, though. She didn't need to be.
I wasn't watching the film.
Hero.
It was, yeah. If the villain is dark, then they should stay dark. Loki and Negan are examples where it goes wrong, making them good guys. Yeah, I agree, Ash. Oh, hello, Phil. Hope you're well, mate. I couldn't name you a good current villain within Marvel. DC is doing it better currently, especially in Absolute Batman. Yeah, the villains, the bad guys in Absolute Batman are just mental. I mean, are you guys up to speed with Absolute Batman?
An issue or two behind.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to be behind.
Horrific versions of Mr. Freeze, Bane, Killer Croc. They are proper stuff of nightmare villains, And interestingly, for some of them, they're good guys who turned bad, because a lot of them were Bruce's friends. Some characters can be rehabilitated. I agree with that. Some cannot. It's a nature versus nurture thing. I can't stand how often it's being used. Venom drives me mental. I'm the same, Andrew. Null was the last villain for me, but they ruined that in different ways. Yeah, they dropped the ball at the end of that story. They knew what to do with these gender swaps. Eddie Brock is Carnage now. Balls did all up. Sidebar, Carnage comic getting axed at issue 10. Yeah. Surprised it made it to 10, Fuzzy. Marvel need a serious intervention. Someone competent spearheading it. I mean, I'm available, Phil. I am available. Me and Efren, we could do that. Yeah. Kind of like Snyder's leading the way of DC. Yeah, Phil, I don't know. That's a good example, mate, based on this week's DC knockout, I have to say. I enjoyed Cruella. I have to say, I agree with Storrell in terms of turning villain. I quite like the film.
It's a good movie. Thank you. Fun. Yeah, it is. It's a good movie. Yeah. It's fun.
Are they doing a sequel to that?
I'm sure I saw some. We're planning on it, but they're not filming or anything yet. So.
Yeah. Walking Dead to Cruella. Good old Storrell. Never change. There we go. We're getting some good debate on the questions tonight, chaps.
Yeah.
What's next?
I think, James, you are up. You ready?
Yep. Other than Batman and Spider-Man, what villain has the best rogues gallery? What's your favorite? So I'll start. This is sort of a shared one because I think there's a lot of crossover between the two characters, so like Daredevil and Punishers. Mostly because I just kind of like mob boss characters, so I love Jigsaw. That's just a really grotesque, cool character. Like Bushwhacker, I think is a good one that as well. Manucci, like Fisk, obviously Kingpin, Bullseye, you know. So like I don't know, there's something about that they're not like super unique, but I like how kind of just like evil that they all are, you know.
Good question. I've got two for you then. For when I'm thinking the examples you've given there, James, have got rogues galleries that are totally off the wall in variety, which is what I'm probably going to go for, because I would have said Thor because I like the gods version of enemies and things like that, the frost giants and stuff. But I'm thinking off the wall bad guys. You cannot go wrong with a bit of good old Dick Tracy and all of his weird kind of prune faces, and do you know what I mean? They're all bonkers batshit. But my personal enjoyment has got to be Masters of the Universe. I mean, the variety.
I didn't think I would have said Scooby Doo. Yeah,
Scooby Doo. Yeah, the variety and depth of different characters with different character designs, backstories, interesting weapons, and I love the fact that they've developed them so much over the years. So, sticking with the villain theme, obviously. Trapjaw, you're all familiar with Trapjaw?
Yeah.
One of my favourite characters. Yeah, so Efren, you familiar with Trapjaw?
No.
Character with like literally a metal jaw. And over the years, they've developed that story now to why he's got that jaw. And it's basically he lost a fight and he had his jaw punched off. And you see it kind of, his actual physical jaw rip off. And that's when he gets the metal on. And it's that kind of development and attention to the characters that I think is really good. So yeah,
just from what was like just a silly toy design into.
It wasn't even a Masters of the Universe toy. It was a there was a I can't remember, it wasn't big. Was it Big Jim? There was a toy line that they basically pinched figures from the Masters line. Yeah. So Battle Cat was a Big Jim Jungle Tiger, which they just painted green. They needed a new figure, and they went, "What we got? That's not going to cost money."
I didn't know that. Yeah,
let's paint this. And Trapjaw was one of those characters. He was like a Bond villain. And then they just painted him up and stuck him in the toy line. Yeah.
For me, it would have to be the X-Men. Yeah. The X-Men's Rogue Gallery. I mean, come on. Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Arcade. They've got so many. Magneto, the Brotherhood of Mutants in general. They've got so many good arch nemesis. And I think the X-Men Gallery, again, it's like a nice wide variety of different people for different reasons. But Mr. Sinister, come on. You need more than Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, he's a cracking bad guy. Yeah, Magneto, just stunned.
Old school Magneto though, modern Magneto is a pussy. Come on, they've dumbed him down somewhat rotten antler in the comic.
Again, what have they done? They've made him a good guy.
They've nerfed him. Yeah, they've made him. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Peter, I thought for sure you're going to pick the Flash's Rogue Gallery.
Yeah, it's a great one as well.
Boomerang, all those guys. Yeah. But my choice, it would be an X-Men 2. I think it would just thinking about the top of my head would be Wolverine. First off, Sabretooth. I mean, the decades and centuries they've been going after each other, and it seems to have a 1-year anniversary where Sabretooth always attacks them. And we have Lady Deathstrike also, always going after Wolverine. His own son, Daken, for a while. And I just think all the characters he's played, his original nemesis when he was a kid, that man his own father was his enemy too, so to speak. So I think my choice would be another X-Men, would be Wolverine, all the enemies he's had throughout the centuries.
Silver Samurai, the Wendigo.
Silver Samurai, yeah. So
some cracking ones.
Yep.
Good question. Let's see what the chat says. Phil, street level mob bosses are always good fun. Yeah, I like your street level bad guys. Fuzzy's got a good one here. Silver Surfer, Doom, Galactus, Kang.
True, yeah.
Fantastic Four villains are some crackers, to be perfectly honest.
I like a mole man.
Mole man, like a mole man. I like a mole man. Yeah. No, Fantastic Four have got some great bad guys. Paste Pot Pete, obviously, introduced Fantastic Four. Can't go wrong with a bit of Dick or Fantastic Four is a good shout. Autobots and Decepticons, yeah. Again, nice variety. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's a good one. And Mortal Kombat.
Andrew, that is such a great shout. Mortal Kombat has incredible, like Kano, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shinnok, like that. That's so good. That's such a good shout. Didn't even think of that.
Good stuff.
Cool.
Hi, Connie. Welcome, Connie. Hope you're doing well.
All right, Sorrel, you got the last regular question. You ready?
Yep.
You're up, sir.
So, which comic book series would you like to be made into a television series? Not a movie, a TV series. There's been so many good ones, but which one do you think? 'Cause for me, it would have to be the Fables, Wolf Among Us. I love,
Yeah.
yeah,
That'd be
Fables
great.
would make an amazing
Yeah.
TV series. Span that out for a while, it would be brilliant. All the different characters they could bring in.
Wolf Among Us, the video game, the Telltale game, is just phenomenal. Like, it's one of my favorite gaming experiences.
They could use that as the basis to start it off, because that would be a good pilot 2-part episode, and then just run from there with all the rest of the Fables.
It's got the mystery hook to it, the detective kind of thing, but it's like
Yep.
a unique element. But my only thing would be, could they do that convincingly on TV, like, with the makeup and stuff like that?
Well, we had the Arrowverse and stuff like that, and that worked out really. If they took it seriously and made it like the comic books, where it was dark and sinister, and it could be really good.
That would work really well on like
Played it
HBO.
properly. Yeah, yeah.
HBO could do that really well. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, that's a great choice.
My choice would be a modern comic book that came out. God, it's been over 5 years since it came out. But the minute it came out, I told Peter about it. It's one of the first times I think I gave him some advice on a comic book. It's Philadelphia by Rodney.
Yeah, son of a! I was gonna pick that too.
Oh my God. Have you ever read that book, Sorrel?
No. But
Oh, you should read it.
That's great. It's a great
It's
vampire book.
vampires take over the city of Philadelphia. So they call it Philadelphia, and it's written by Rodney Barnes, and it came out about 5 years ago. They've incorporated Spawn into it. They've incorporated Spawn into it, yeah, and Blackula, the black exploitation film from the early 70s. Just a great read. You remember Kolchak from that series from the 70s? I forgot, what was it called, Peter?
The
Kolchak?
Night Stalker.
The Night Stalker? I don't know if you remember that movie. There was a TV show from the 70s. They incorporated that character into the series. And they incorporated the original founding fathers. They're vampires. And it's a really good storyline. I haven't read, it's still ongoing now, the comic book series, but it's been a year since one of the books have come out, unfortunately. But it's really good. I think I would make Philadelphia into a regular TV show.
I'm gonna look that one up. I've got a little list going that because Pete recommended a few books tonight as well, so I'm gonna add Philadelphia to that now.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Super.
Good, really
First
good.
rate paperback is amazing.
Yeah. I would love to see another crack at From Hell, the Alan Moore comic. I think that on TV. I like the movie a lot, but there's a lot of stuff left out of the comic. So yeah, I'd really love to see that kind of gothic, like Victorian London kind of vibe, the Jack the Ripper thing. I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So there's some great ones in the chat, and I'm trying to not repeat any of those, but I would have picked some of those as well. We'll talk about them in a second. I'm going to go predictable in terms of horror. In the way my brain works, I would love an anthology series of Ice Cream Man. So you've got that narrative that links throughout the entire series, but it can end at any time. So we're not stuck with continuity in terms of it having to have a start and a finish. I don't know if you've read Ice Cream Man, Sorrel, but each issue is basically a mini horror story. And it's all kind of linked to this random character who appears, the Ice Cream Man, who's a guy in a traditional American ice cream costume. Love that series. Great horror. I'm going to be greedy. I would like to continue with an existing series. I think it's an absolute crime that we didn't get more Sandman, because Sandman on Netflix is phenomenal. So I would love more than that. If we're talking just batshit crazy, ongoing series, budget, no question, give us Injustice. Give us an ongoing of that. Hasn't got to be big special effects fighting every episode, because it's more the story of what's happening to these heroes turned bad guys. That's interesting. Again, coming back to one of your questions earlier, Sorrel, about a comic that's kind of shocked you and stuff like that. Injustice, if you haven't read it, it's got some stunning bits in it based on the video game. But you get that initial thing of Superman killing the Joker, which is a shock moment. But I always remember there's a scene where Batman and Robin have kind of are on opposite sides, and Damian Wayne, they're in a confrontation or somewhere, and Damian Wayne hits Dick Grayson and knocks him over, because Dick doesn't want to fight him, and Dick falls and hits the back of everything and dies. And I remember reading that thinking, what the shit? They've just killed, Damien has killed Dick Grayson, and it was just phenomenal. Just a great series.
I've never read that.
Oh, Efren, you would love it.
Injustice.
It's
I gotta read it. Okay.
Injustice.
Yeah,
It's
Injustice,
based on the video
Gods
game.
Among Us, isn't
Gods
it?
Among Us. So the basic premise is Joker tricks Superman in some regards into killing Lois Lane.
And she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he loses it completely, and Superman goes in, basically puts his hand through the Joker and kills the Joker. And then the story after that is basically Superman at that point just cuts loose and takes over, and he becomes a kind of a
Dictator.
dictator.
Yeah.
And you get the superheroes working against him and stuff, and it's just
I gotta read it now.
it's superb. It's really good. Some comments in the chat. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, that could be a very strong series. I've got DMZ, but I've never read it. I've got it I bought the series in comic book format, the full series from a shop once, but I've not actually read it yet. Have you guys read DMZ?
No.
You know what that is?
Demilitarized Zone. It's a war-based comic, I believe.
All right.
But I've not read it. Why the Last Man Standing? They screwed it up. Yeah, I've not watched it. I've got the Absolute Editions, not read them. American Vampire is a great call, Phil. That's a cracking little book. And again, that would be easy to do, really, with not big budget on special effects, really. But great vampire series. We haven't got any. What decent vampire TV shows have we got at the moment? Because we used to have like Buffy,
Interview with the
Avenger,
True Blood,
and all that kind of stuff.
They've had the
Interview with
vampire.
Vampire has just come on with Netflix. It's just come on Netflix now, so you can watch that again now. And they've got the Mayfair Witches, which all ties into that.
Okay.
It's
Vampire
the-
Lestat,
it's the
did you
an-
say, Efren?
Yeah.
I've not read that. I've not watched that, sorry.
The Interview with the Vampire show.
Interview with a Vampire. I'm sorry. Interview with a Vampire. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, so the Interview with the Vampire show is now on Netflix. That's the first part of it. Then they've done Mayfair Witches. The next season of Interview with the Vampire is going to be touching on Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned. So it's
Okay.
all following on. And then the Mayfair Witches cross over with Lestat later in the books and stuff. So it's all the Anne Rice universe. It's all on Netflix now.
Oh,
I'll have
okay.
to check that out. True Blood was one of my all-time favourites. Loved True Blood.
And it's for me, it's better than the original movie. And that's saying something because that Tom Cruise movie is amazing. But that TV series is brilliant.
Check
Yeah,
that
it's a
out.
good show.
DMZ, Metal Men, yeah. Magic Order. Sorrel, get your pen out. Magic Order is the one you've got to read. Volume 1 of Magic Order will blow you away. I'm going to not spoil anything for you because there's some great twists and turns in it. I think we're up to about volume 6 now or something, but each volume is a contained story. So volume 1 of Magic Order is an absolute banger. Saga, never read, but I've got it. Ascender, Descender, Black Signs, Nova. Oh, Nova would be cool. Spawn, I think TV is better fit for comics and movies.
I'd love them to pick back up the Spawn animated series. That was so great. The Darkness. Oh, The Darkness would be a great TV show. Yeah, the video games are really cool. Comics are good.
Hyde Street, very cool. Yeah, I'd like that. The Holy Roller would be a good little limited series. But I Hate Fairyland, Fuzzy. That could be amazing. Do you think that would that have to be an animation, Fuzzy, or
Yeah.
live action? I don't know how you would do it in.
I read the
live
first
action.
few. I Hate
love it.
Fairyland. It's a good. I never read on, but I read about 3 or 4 of them. It was fun. I enjoyed
So
that.
I've got the collected editions of the entire first series, and then they've redone it. They've started a season 2, and I've not read that yet. Hellboy TV show would be cool. Yeah. Swamp Thing and Sin City, very good. Department of Truth may work better than it does in print. Yeah, that is true. Sin City would be great. How would I miss that? Oh, Geiger. Ruka Geiger. Nice to see you, Kev, by the way. Ruka Geiger would be very, very good. I like both of them. Big fans of them. Sorry, Fuzzy. TMT was for the Rogues. Yeah, some very cool bad guys in the Turtles repertoire of bad guys. There's a third show in that Anne Rice universe.
The Telemasker. So the Telemasker are the people that basically watch the Dark World but do not associate with it or something. They do mention it in the Queen of the Damned movie, don't they? Basically, they're the people that basically observe and watch, and
Okay.
they are in the one of the guys from the Telemasker is in Mayfair Witches.
Oh, but it's a TV show now?
Yeah, it's now it's going to be it's out very, very soon, I think. But yeah, the Telemasker is going to be a TV series as well.
Right.
It's going to be a bit like Shield kind of thing, like Agents of Shield kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay, I like that. The Strain was a cracking little show. I enjoyed The Strain. I really enjoyed. Did you guys see The Strain?
No.
The first few episodes, I remember. I thought was good.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah,
really cool.
cool take on vampires.
Yeah, and it's got an ending as well. It like properly ends.
Oh, is it vampires the strain?
Yeah, well, yes,
Monster
a kind
vampire.
of kind of
Monster
vampire.
vampire, yeah.
Deadly Class. Never saw the series, Fuzzy, because that's the one where I've got all the hardbacks. One of my favourite stories of all time. Sorrel, get your pen out. Deadly Class. You need to read that. And I resisted watching the TV series because I know they cancelled it after one season, and I cannot be chewed with that. It's a bit like Why the Last Man. I never watched that because I know it was cancelled after one season. So why would you watch it? You know what I mean? Phil, cancelling Deadly Class was a crime. That was a great show. Yeah, the books are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. There you go, Efren. We're up to speed, mate.
All right, we are up to our bonus question. This is where we can ask any question. This could be comic book related or just anything to do with anything. So I'm going to come up first. I asked you this question in advance because I want you guys to think about it. And what movie would you recommend? Okay, my only thing was couldn't be like comic book or superhero related, that type of movie. So my choice is I looked at it, came up recently on one of my YouTube feeds too. This movie is called Field of Dreams.
Yeah,
It is technically a baseball film. I know a lot of you guys are not into sports, but it's more than that. It started Kevin Costner, James Earl Jones, Ray Liotta, and in his last film, an actor, Burt Lancaster. So it has to do with this farmer in Iowa who was estranged from his late father, and he owns a farm now. But then he hears a voice that's saying, "If you build it, he will come." And he thought he was going crazy, and he didn't know what it was. And he basically transformed his cornfield into a baseball diamond. And out from the cornfields came all these players, like from the early 1900s, who played baseball. And it just shows how much he loved baseball. In the United States, to me, baseball, it goes hand in hand with Americana. I used to play catch with my dad, so it bonded me and my dad. He was into baseball too. I think that's where I got my love of baseball. But he kept on hearing that thing, if you build it, he will come. And the whole premise was, like I said, he was estranged from his late father. Towards the end of this movie, his dad comes out, and he was a baseball player too. And, he didn't realize that was his son until the very end, and they started playing catch. Yeah. I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking about that movie. And James Earl Jones was in it too, so it was a very classic movie. That's my recommendation if nobody's ever seen that movie.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Mr. Keegan.
I was going to pick Mad Max Fury Road, but I think that's too, I wanted to go for something more underrated, but and that feels like it's not a comic book based thing, but it feels very kind of franchisey, So one of my all-time favorite series is two of them. And I think they are the pinnacle of action sequences put to film is The Raid. And I don't think they're as watched or as well known as are you familiar with The Raid? No. So they're Indonesian. It was a Welsh director, and he went to Indonesia, and so the films are in Indonesian, but there's subtitles. But really simple premise. The first one is about a SWAT team that's storming a high-rise building full of gangsters, like Dredd, sort of. Mm-hmm. And it is just the most amazing, fast-paced, kind of balletic action fight sequences I've ever seen. So the first one is very straightforward, but the second one is a bit more elaborate. It's like the cop from the first movie who's going undercover, and so there's a fight sequence in a car. There's a really amazing kitchen fight sequence using knives and pots and pans and stuff. Just incredible. Whenever I think of how I want the action in Blade, when I talk about the Blade movie, and I'm wow, I'd love the Raid style action. It is the best action sequences ever done on film.
And when did this movie come out?
The first one was 2011, 2012 or something, and the second one was I think 2015. But yeah, if you don't mind subtitles, you're watching it for the action anyway, but they are absolutely incredible.
Wow, cool.
Yeah.
It's a great film. I prefer the first one, I have to say, but yeah, great films.
See, I wasn't sure how to tackle this question. I wasn't sure if it was if we were going to go proper films that you thought were baseballs and the classics and all that stuff, but I thought I'll go for it from a different route. A film I rediscovered recently and really enjoyed watching again for the first time in years was that one we mentioned earlier, Pete. Oh my god, it just left my head. The one about Star Wars. What do they call it, Pete? Fanboys. Jesus
Fanboys.
Fanboys.
Oh, okay.
So have you ever seen Fanboys?
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that whole idea of that he's the mate's got cancer, it's incurable, and then
Yeah.
cross country and break into the Lucas Ranch and watch the Phantom Menace before it comes out in cinemas. I love that buddy concept idea and just all the mad stuff that they get up to on the way and all the cameos from all the Star Wars crew, and it's just brilliant. It's a great little movie.
Yeah, it is a very good one. This is a ridiculous question, Efren. How you can pick one film? So I was really struggling with this, and I can list films.
I'll ask you again in a couple months.
I could list films that I've talked about before that I absolutely love and would strongly encourage people to watch. Stuff like we talked about recently, The Untouchables, Sean Connery, Kevin Costner, and De Niro is Al Capone, is a phenomenal film. One of the best films of all time for me. A Few Good Men, absolutely love that film. If you're wanting to giggle, you cannot go wrong. And I know some people hate it, but Dumb and Dumber is one of my all-time favourites. Just love that film.
Classic, absolute classic. Yeah.
But I thought I'd hit you with something that I've never mentioned before. I don't think I mentioned before. And you'll probably think, what a load of shit. But it's a film with Dennis Quaid in it called A Dog's Purpose. Have you seen this film?
Is that the one where the dog keeps coming back?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
My God.
Sweet Jesus. So we watched this as a family and I literally cried. So the premise of this film is the dog, you hear the dogs talking to you in its internal monologue. And it's about what is the purpose of a dog? Why do I have dogs in the world? And basically it starts off as a puppy, and you think you're getting this story of a puppy and it's got an owner, which is Dennis Quaid as a young man, and they love each other and blah, blah, blah. And the dog dies. And it's euthanized or whatever. And you're like, oh, what the shit happened there? And it's heartbreaking. And then the dog's reincarnated as another dog. And it's a police dog. And then it gets shot and it dies. And then it's reincarnated as a dog that's stuck in a pound with these abusers. And it goes through lots of different reincarnations. And then at the very end, it's reincarnated into another dog. But it finds its way back to Dennis Quaid as an old man. And they have this bit where when he was a young man, he taught it this trick where he throws a frisbee, it runs and jumps on his back and jumps over. And this dog does that at the end of the film. And he realizes it's barely his dog. And it's honestly... Niagara Falls. It's honestly, it's one of the most heart-wrenching films I've ever seen, and it's just lovely. It's just if you're an animal lover, which I am, and you like your pets, it's a beautiful film to watch. And I thought it's a little bit different to the stuff I normally see. So
sure,
we've gone with
That's
that.
why I asked that question.
Rogue One Photography has just said, is it more sad than Marley? But I think it's sadder than Marley and Me.
It is.
Marley and Me.
Worse than
I
Marley
was
and Me.
distraught. Absolutely, like.
No, this is worse, James, because you see the dog die several times over. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can prepare for it now, though. I'm going in knowing that happens. So
It's still
try not to
crap.
get too attached.
When it's the police dog, and it jumps up to save its
him.
kind of, and it gets shot. It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? So yeah, Chris, American Psycho. Oh, The Princess Bride. Love The Princess
Still
Bride.
never seen it fully.
Me neither.
Start to
I've
finish.
never seen it either.
Yeah, I never watched it start to finish.
You killed
Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I see Monty
Never seen
Python. Monty Python's
Monty
great.
Python. No, Monty Python and the Holy Grail is just phenomenal.
We should do a movie night,
Yeah, just sit and watch films. Yeah.
Okay, guys, click the button at the same time and just watch it.
Yeah.
People do that. I've
Kelly's Heroes is a classic. Terry, love Kelly's Heroes. Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
What's the one with Mel? I love the one with Mel Gibson as well. That's really cool. Is it We Were Heroes or something? Can't remember. There's loads of great wartime films. First one, Superior. So it's a Welsh director, James, but you couldn't name Wales as a country.
Listen, one, right? I know what Wales is. I know Wales is a country. Two, it's very different when you're on the spot and you can't think. Three, Wales is the only country that begins with W.
Everybody
as well.
else,
So,
everybody else
yeah.
managed. Simon managed. Did you guys have G.I. Joe or Action Force? In the UK, it was Action Force, Kev. It was exactly the same cartoon, exactly the same comic books and figures, just we renamed them Action Force for some reason. Shutter Island on first watch. That's DiCaprio, yeah?
Yeah.
Green Mile. Shawshank Redemption. Oh,
No, Green Mile. I
too
prefer
many.
Green Mile.
Too many. A Nick Cage one. Yeah. Well, okay then. A Nick Cage one that makes us cry every time. The Family Man. Have you seen that one? I think is it Helen Hunt? I can't remember. Nick Cage is an obnoxious businessman or whatever, and he gets a flashback in time to what his life would be like if he'd kind of engaged more with his childhood sweetheart. So he wakes up as if he was their husband and he's been with her all the years and stuff like that. Again, just a ridiculous heartbreaker. So you get the entire film of him realising that actually his life would be great. He loves this woman, he's got a family and kids, and it's so much better than chasing the American dollar and stuff like that. And the film ends with, tough shit, you're going back to your normal life. And he appears back and she's off. And it's like, what the fuck? So yeah, that's a good one. The Social Network, yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
That's a good one.
Sobby bollocks, yeah. It's worse than Molly and Me, as we've just said. Moral of the story, be a cat. The Dog's Journey, yeah, that's the... I think that's a sequel or one after that of The Dog's Purpose. Is that the one, Ellen, where the dog's chained to a homeless person at the riverbank and the homeless person dies? These are all great films. Ironically, A Dog's Purpose is to die in movies to make us sad. Welcome, shiny, shiny. We Were Soldiers. That's what I'm thinking of, Fuzzy. Mel Gibson, about Nam, I think, isn't it?
That's Nam, yeah.
Again, great movie. Fluke, yes, I think I've read that one. I'm a sucker for a dog story, I have to say. Best part of Wales is the flag. Wow. Western Samoa, don't think I've seen that one. Silence of the Lambs, Unforgiven, Godfather 1 and 2, some of my favourites. Hannibal, I love Hannibal. Yeah, Braveheart.
Yeah.
Not historically accurate, but a great film. I also really like... This was when Mel Gibson was going through his historical period, wasn't it? I liked Braveheart, and I liked the one about the Civil War, where he was fighting the English.
Oh, the Patriot?
The Patriot. That's a real good one.
That's
That's a real good one.
Oh, I remember a guy gets his leg blown off with a cannonball.
Cannonball. Yeah. Okay, that's we're up to date pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. Let me get back to the banner here. This is yours, Peter. You want me to read it for you?
Yes, please, mate.
What's the ultimate 3-course meal?
Told you would get the food. Told you would get the food.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so all I want to know, guys, is it's a bit like that thing in America, if you're on death's door kind of thing, or whatever you call it. Death row, aye. What's your final meal? I want a starter, main course, and a dessert.
I was actually on the verge of asking that for my question because I've been thinking about it a lot lately.
Cliff on Comics, what have I walked in on? Cliff, it's your traditional, typical comic book show where we want to know what you want for your starter, your main course, and your dessert.
Yeah.
Straightforward. So.
Typical question we ask.
Typical question. Comic book related. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Ellen's changed his mind. Stand By Me, an absolute classic.
Yeah.
Absolute classic. Yeah. Okay, right. Keegan, I'm sure you've thought about this lots of times, so we'll start off with you. What
Yeah, 3 courses isn't enough, Pete. You need
well, I'm accepting that you would naturally have a cheese course. Cheese course is included in an aperitif.
Yeah. I will condense. So I typically get chicken wings as a main, but you got me onto getting them just as a starter before your meal. So I'm gonna throw buffalo chicken wings with some blue cheese dip. That's my starter. Main course, I'm going for a steak medium rare with some fries, pepper sauce, peppercorn sauce, and a side of mac and cheese. Because I would usually put, I was between that or carbonara. I want a kind of pasta in there, so I'll go for a mac and cheese with like bacon bits and some breadcrumbs on top and stuff. And then dessert, banoffee pie with a side of ice cream. Maybe some hot fudge to go on the ice cream or something like that. That'd be my and for a drink, like I'll have a Coke Zero, you know, because I'm and a pina colada as well to wash.
Oh, a pina colada would be good.
Yeah. So that's my.
Saying that, like, what am I into at the moment? I'm into. My wife got us into these porn star martinis.
That's what my sister drinks. Yeah.
That's what they're called, porn star martinis.
Porn star martinis. Yeah.
Porn star martinis.
They're nice, actually. Yeah.
Really
If I Google it, will something else come up? Are you guys messing with me?
I mean, probably. No. Yeah, porn star martini. Yeah. Efren, how about yourself?
Oh God! So for the first part, for appetizer, I would get fried calamari. Every time it's on the menu, I always enjoy eating them. It's really, really good. For the main course, I'm gonna go back to something my mom used to cook for me every now and then. I'm just thinking about my mom. She used to make some tostadas for me. You guys know what tostadas are, or should I?
Talk us through it. What's a
Tostadas, basically, it's a tortilla where you fry it, so it's hard shell, and you just put beans on the one portion, then meat or chicken, and then lettuce. And then just some sauce. My mom used to make it, but the way she used to make it, I can never replicate it. It just doesn't taste the same. So I think I would pick my mom's tostadas. It was just really good. I would just eat so many of them until my stomach was full. For dessert, I think I would just go apple pie with ice cream. Just something simple. But
Could you be any more American, Efren?
Tostada. Okay,
that's fair. That is fair. That is fair.
Okay,
we're going to multinational dish here.
There was a dessert, and if it was anything else, I would just pick apple pie. Hot apple pie with ice cream to me is the best.
Do you like a crumbly top or like a pastry, or like what's your ideal apple pie?
Just a regular USA apple pie, man. Not crumbly.
Is that short crust? Is it? I think it's short crust.
Yeah, short crust. And
Short crust,
you mentioned drinks. To me, it would be a Corona with a lime. That makes me so happy.
Sit in the summer heat or something.
Yeah.
Outside. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I showed my American side for once, Peter.
Nice. No, very nice. Very nice. Sorrel, what we're going for?
I'm a proper simple creature, me. I could say steak and all that good stuff, but you know what? If I was on death row, or if I was like, I had one meal left, you know what it'd be? I'm really sad. I'd like a proper Caesar salad, like proper American style Caesar salad as well, with all the cheese and shit on it.
The lardons, bacon lardons and all.
Yeah, like a proper American one, not like a shitty English one. And then for my main, I'd say, I'm a boring get. I would love nothing more than a fucking tuna sandwich with cucumber and lettuce on a crusty roll, man.
Nice.
That's my favorite thing on the planet.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing on the planet. Nice and ice cold. Well, gotta be in the fridge for a little bit. It's gotta be ice fucking cold when you get it. So you bite into it and the cucumber hurts. You know what I mean? And then for dessert, just a standard British trifle, man. It can't beat a trifle.
Oh, trifle.
I hate trifle.
How dare you?
I think
How
custard
dare
and,
you?
Custard and so it's like it's like jelly with like lady fingers soaked in. There's custard and then cream. And I think
What's it
custard-
called?
Hang on.
It's not fucking ladyfinger.
Hang on. Well, I mean, yeah, it can be ladyfingers, but Efren, do you know what a ladyfinger is?
I've heard of it, but I'm gonna Google what
Trifle.
English
So
trifle.
cake biscuit kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Traditionally, it's a kind of a sponge base, ladyfingers, or some kind of sponge. You then got jelly, sometimes mixed fruits in there, but I object to that because my grandma used to.
Jello.
Jello.
Efren,
for the
not
Americans.
jelly.
Yeah,
Jello.
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 Not
Yeah,
jelly.
my grandma used to put a tin of mixed fruit in, and it had
Yeah,
pear
my
in
mum
it.
does
It was
that too.
horrible.
Yeah,
So Jello, and then whipped cream, or custard. Sorry,
Custard then whipped cream.
cold custard, then whipped cream, and then hundreds
flake.
of thousands sprinklings and flake.
Hundreds and thousands on it, really.
Yeah,
My mum does flake.
Yeah,
She puts a flake on top.
cherries and
I think I found
Never
it.
liked it.
yeah, very very nice.
Does it look something
Very
like
nice.
this?
That's
it.
the fella.
That's
That's
the
the
one.
fella.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I had to Google.
you know what?
That.
Do you know what,
That
Pete?
does look good.
Or even an eaten mess, Pete. An eaten mess.
And
as
eating
well.
mess is nice.
Don't like
Strawberries
meringue,
and cream.
except for
Strawberries and
lemon
cream.
meringue pie. I don't like. Yeah.
When I come visit, we got to try all this.
Yeah.
So for me, oh God, you know, it was my question, and I've forgotten what I was going to say. For a start, I do like some buffalo wings. But I like them when they're quite crunchy. I don't like them when they're kind of soft and gooey.
Oh, kind
I
of
like
crispy but sauce covered.
crispy
as well.
with a nice dip with them. That's probably my go-to for a starter. I would normally go lasagna because I love a lasagna, a proper lasagna with crispy
bread on the
garlic
side.
bread and all the rest of it. But a proper lasagna. But I have to say, if it was my last meal, I absolutely love lamb cutlet, minted lamb cutlets. So little lamb chops.
Yeah.
But that have got like a mint sauce on them, and you cook them, and again they go beautifully. So yeah, them with some lovely Duffel potatoes or something like that.
Oh, I fucking love those.
For dessert, trifle does sound good, Sorrel. But for dessert, I'm going to go American. And I am a sucker for a proper traditional. I'm saying traditional. I don't know. Not an American dessert that's got all the A numbers and all the kind of the glow in the dark stuff in it. But like a proper key lime pie. I love the one my wife makes is because she's rotated recipes to find this one. It's got ginger biscuits as the base, and then the key lime is not, like I say, nuclear luminous green with the numbers. It's really tart. So either a key lime pie or a lemon pie. I like that kind of sharp taste to it.
Yeah.
You know. And then for a drink, sorry, we'll have to come back for you for a drink. I am a big fan of a Porn Star Martini, but I have to say my refreshing drink of choice is always going to be a mojito. I love a traditional mojito.
Those are good.
Too sour, I think.
Sorrel, for a drink.
Drink, Jack and Coke. I love a Jack and Coke.
A great choice.
Right, chaps, let's see. Jesus, we've got tons of messages. Let's jump through all these. Rogue One. God, I like a garlic mushroom.
I love a garlic mushroom too, yeah.
T-bone steak is a winner as well.
Steak
And a
too.
nice cheesecake. Yeah.
Cheesecake I find too filling usually, but you remember we went to that Black Rock place in Camden Market and they came out with the big scoop of it. That was really good.
That was a big cheesecake.
That was a big we got it for free because we said it was your birthday. So.
Naturally, yeah. Chris is going old school. Sorry, he's going off the rails. He's going for a steak for his starter, then he's having a treacle sponge for his main course, and then he's having a nosh for his. Efren, don't Google what a nosh is.
What's a treacle sponge?
It's basically a sponge cake soaked in treacle syrup. Really nice.
What's treacle syrup?
What?
You know what
Treacle
is?
syrup?
You're only across the
treacle.
friggin' lake.
Treacle.
Treacle?
You must have treacle sponge and custard in Ireland. It must have come from there. Come on.
No.
Treacle is just I don't even know what it's made of.
Is that like the syrup that comes in the tin?
Like
in
golden syrup.
the
Yeah.
paint can stuff, is it?
A bit like a golden syrup kind of thing.
Yeah, golden
golden
syrup.
syrup. Okay,
Golden
yeah,
syrup.
right.
Yeah.
Is it like a green banner kind of on a dark green?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I know. It's tar.
Kev, Caesar, I love a Caesar salad, rare steak, nice, and a banana pudding. I love a banana split. You don't see banana splits on many menus these days, but I do like a banana split. Shiny. I'd ask for a tuna sandwich from Tesco, so I violently crap myself when they push the button to kill me. Nice. And then starter Chinese, just all of it. All of it.
Fair point.
Yeah. We've got Cliff on comics. Nice to see you, Cliff. I hope you are well, bud. We need to do something together, Cliff. Haven't seen you and talked to you for ages. Bruschetta at Efren. You're going to have to translate this to us for us, mate. Pomodoro e basilico. I'm going to say bruschetta with tomatoes and basil.
Yeah, it's good.
Probably. Yeah. That's
Very nice.
Bruschetta and pomodoro e basilico.
Very, very nice. Quite often when we go to the Italian down the road, I quite often just get it because it's just dead refreshing. Dead nice and refreshing. D-class chili sauce, salad, coleslaw on a kebab is a 3-course. You can have that as a 1-course.
I have to say, a good kebab is hard to beat.
I used to eat a lot of kebab meat. Efren, I don't know what kebabs are like in the States, but kebab meat's like a big, solid, dead
shawarma.
body.
They don't.
Dead
They
body.
don't have
Yeah, they call it
kebabs like
shawarma there,
Yeah.
I haven't seen how they're made and stuff. Whereas if it's like a nice lamb kebab, chunks of lamb, I go for that. Fuzzy's not engaging with the food. Sidebar: the sequel to The Passion of the Christ is being made and cut into 2 parts. The sequel is being released 40 days later, like in the Bible. Good Morgan. Yeah, that's interesting, Fuzzy. That's
How do
I
you
don't
think
know.
it's Passion of the Christ?
I don't think I've
It's about the
seen.
resurrection.
I don't think I've
Okay.
seen
Resurrection
Passion of the Christ. I don't know that it appeals.
Yeah.
Cliff, the man after my own heart, a nice hearty lasagna. I like a lasagna. Dessert tiramisu. I used to complain about tiramisu and tell people it was shit, but I got one in a nice restaurant a while ago. Love it.
The exact
Absolutely
same.
love it.
Like a year ago, I hated tiramisu until I got like a really great one, like authentic one from Italian, and I'm like, oh, I like.
But I
tiramisu
say,
now.
if you can get a good proper Italian to make one, it's
yeah.
dev game changer.
Yeah, it's class.
We had one.
I
in
once
Italy
went
and-
out. I go out for dinner with some consultants from work who are pretentious pricks. Not quite sure why I go out with them, but we once went to a restaurant and the guy who complains about everything ordered the tiramisu, and without really consulting or talking to us, he asked the waitress to bring the chef out, and he told the chef that it was the worst tiramisu he's ever had, and then he ended by saying, "In fact, I would compare it to eating dirt." And it was like, we never went back to that restaurant.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, real French onions. Oh yeah, Terry. This is thrown us. A full mixed grill, including calf's liver, pig kidneys,
Ew.
and chili sausages.
Chili sausages sounds nice.
I've never had a mix. I mean, mixed grill is gammon, chicken, steak, and a sausage.
No,
I
liver. Yeah, mixed grill would
I'm
have
not a
liver.
liver man.
It would
Pig's
it would
kidneys?
Steak and kidney pie. It's not that unusual, I don't think, is it? To have kidney. I like a steak and kidney pie.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
Chili sausages sounds nice.
Chili sausages on Knickerbocker Glory.
That's a classic, isn't it? Yeah. Like,
And a
for years.
Chateau Lafite 1970 on the side. Very nice. Cliff is a man of culture. Pinot for starter, Chianti with my lasagna, and a Vino Santo for the dessert. Very nice. Very nice.
I do love a dessert wine, like a sweet iced wine.
A proper sweet dessert wine.
It's it's so good.
And then
a Moscato or
obviously-
something.
Obviously, we are ending with a cheese board and a nice port, a nice glass of port. Trifle, Rogue One's not a fan. The Chateau Yquin with the dessert.
Hurts.
Hello, 1979.
That's in reference to that.
I think Fuzzy's saying that Sorrel's pick of a trifle is something from a Fanny Craddock cookbook or something like that from the 70s. Lady fingers often pair with a toast. They do, yeah. They're nice and moist. Those little Tesco finest 2-pack trifles are elite with fruit bites. Yeah. I tried beans on toast the other day. It wasn't. Say, Kev, we will get you converted. Beans on toast isn't a bad way. Don't go for the beans on toast with the mini sausages. They're manky.
Did you see that the fed beans on toast to John Cena recently when he went over?
Yes, I did see that.
That was
I did
amazing,
see that.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. That was a great video, actually. I like those two
Good,
lads.
that.
Angel Delight. Wow.
Oh, proper old school.
Lamb. Nice. Angel Delight. Do you know what Angel Delight is, Efren?
Never heard of it.
It's like some kind of weird packeted stuff you make. It turns into like a mousse kind of thing.
Oh, it's custardy moussey
Yeah.
crap. Is it? Yeah,
I think Americans refer to it as like tapioca, don't they? Isn't that like a tapioca?
No,
pudding?
tapioca is like little like frog spawn in it. It's like little balls of something. Angel Delight is horrible these days. Nothing like when we were kids. Chris Bell, because they've taken all the shit out of it. Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Caramel frappe. Oh, that'd be nice. Dr. Pepper. I am a doctor. I like a Dr. Pepper. Fuzzy's agreeing. Oh, a nosh. We're here. It's Tar, James. I think we're talking about.
we're going that far back now.
Jesus God. Oh, we've got Von Hoot in the chat. Nice to see you, Von Hoot. Pizza for starter, pizza for main course, and a calzone. we went to the Italian the other night down the road from us, and basically we ordered and they forgot to cook my wife's food. So we're all sat, three of us sat noshing away, not noshing, eating food. And we said, "Wait, what's going on here?" He goes, "Oh, so we'll go back." So they went. They came back. She'd ordered a calzone. She always gets a calzone. And they came back and they said, "Well, it's going to take a while to cook the calzone. What we could do, if you wanted, is we could open the calzone and cook it, and we could give you that."
So
And I was
pizza.
like, a pizza? You want to cook a pizza? What the fuck? We can fold it ourselves when it comes to the table. Yeah, cracking. Thanks very much. Yeah. Yes, mate, we are talking food. We want to know your three-course meal. Three-course meal. What's your best? Hopefully the pricks aren't watching. You'll have to be double G soon, as the Geordie will be revoked because... Oh, we've got Chris off my shelves. Nice to see you, Chris. I hope you're doing well. Chris, I need to get you on a show, mate. I miss you. We'll have to do double G soon, as the Geordie will be revoked because of creamy garlic potatoes over chips. Nuki brown ale and a bag of chips, and you're all right. Now, the last time Mr. Keegan was in Newcastle, I treated him to a bottle of Nuki brown ale. What did you think of it, Mr. Keegan? Do you remember it?
Yeah,
Right.
we had it in that. We had it in a nice like train station.
Pub,
place, wasn't it?
yeah.
I like
Not
Newcastle,
even the
though,
people
it's all
from... not even the
That
people
was
from
fine.
Newcastle.
It was just
really
nice to
like
have a drink after traveling for the day, you know, like so.
roast beef and Yorkshire puds. Yeah, you cannot beat a Yorkshire pud. A mixed grill used to be everything you can fry. You can fry the did. You can't microwave kidney. Well, you can, but it explodes and it shrinks. Oh my God. Kev's starving. Yep. My father was born in Surrey and grew up in Cornwall. Cliff, love you guys. Catch you soon. Defo, Cliff. Defo, we'll have to do some. We've got Canadian Survivalist in the chat. Nice to see you, pal. Beans on toast is great. I don't understand the hate. So easy to make as well. Elevate your beans on toast, Ellen, by a little dash of what you call it, man?
Branston pickle?
No,
Lee
not
and
Branston
Perrin.
pickle.
Lee and Perrin.
Lee and
Cheese?
Perrin, yeah. Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, I like all the
little bit of that
sauce.
on it. Very nice.
Do you have cheese with it? I only
I do
started doing that
sometimes.
last
I do
year, and it was
sometimes.
nice. I thought you put it on the bottom, and it just melts all the, and then it's gooey when you.
See, I mix the cheese into the beans so it melts and becomes part of
just a glob. Then you're scraping onto the thing.
Explaining Angel Delight is explaining the plot of Lost. Noshing in a restaurant is crazy. I knew, Fuzzy, as soon as I said it, I knew I'd used the wrong word. Noshing in a restaurant is crazy. If they can't see, do you know what I mean? Stromboli. What's Stromboli, guys?
calzone.
Oh, is that a calzone, is it?
Like a stuffed calzone, isn't it? Like the meatballs and shit, I think.
The family that noshes together.
Jesus.
I was trying to lose weight and now I'm starving. This show has never lasted this long in 2 years. Yeah, I'm not a big seafood fan, Kev. What about the rest of you guys?
I
Is
like
it-
seafood,
Yeah,
Yeah.
prawns, lobster. I like most seafood. Yeah, I really like it. I don't have it as much as I should. Like I love salmon. Salmon's so nice.
Yeah.
You know, fish and chips is good.
We had lobster down in London. I've had lobster on a few occasions. You know, people make a big hoo-ha about it, and it didn't. It never
It's a lot of
really-
hassle. I think it's nice when it's like there's a lot of it and it's on the like it's taken out of the tail for you and everything. You know.
I think. I mean, James, you've ate with me on many occasions, and Efren has as well at times. You know that I'm a very slow eater, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And quite often when you see people fannying on with fish and cracking the shells, and I see these videos on YouTube with people with like a great big bag and they pour it on the table.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
Oh, the seafood boils. Yeah.
I couldn't be chewed with that shit. Do you know what I mean?
I remember
Just-
when I was in Vegas and I got crab legs at the buffet and it was just like the tiniest bit of meat for like a minute of prying it open. It was
Yeah, cannot be true. We once went, my wife and the full family went to an IKEA crayfish party. What the shit, I don't know. But a crayfish party. And it was like 3 hours of my wife shelling things to get like these just tiny little balls of whatever. And it was like, what? It's too much effort for me, this. I cannot be chewed with it. Anyway, fish and chips. Ephraim, you tried fish and chips when you were in London with Quid, didn't you? What
Oh
was
yeah, yeah.
the-
We went to that restaurant that one time. I forgot. It was. I forgot what day it was, but it was. I wanted to try fish and
It was
chips.
before Back to the Future, I think. So
No, I think it was. When was it?
What did you think of the food? But did you like the fish and chips?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I liked that a lot. And that the one restaurant that I found on Netflix that was just around the corner from our hotel, and we all ordered stuff, and Peter didn't
that was
get it.
lovely. That was so. Those were like
Get
some of the-
stuffed.
those are like the nicest
Get
noodles I've
stuffed.
ever had as well. They were so good.
For some reason, Peter didn't get his order. They
We
forgot.
had such bad luck because we also didn't get fed in the hotel for Thought Bubble either. So like you
Oh, yeah,
had
yeah,
two
yeah.
experiences where the food didn't come.
Yeah, you guys were enjoying the best meal of the holiday, and I'm sat there like,
so
and I wouldn't care. I asked, was it 3 times? I said, and they said, oh, it's coming,
on the
it's
way,
coming.
it's coming,
It's
yeah.
not like,
Yeah,
it's not, and it never turned up, did it? Anyway, Ellen, it hasn't lasted this long for good reason. An hour and a half when we start talking about noshing in the local Italian.
Peter, you picked this question. This has had the most answers ever since we've been doing it, though, for sure.
Stramboli's a calzone without the ricotta. Oh, nice. 3-course would be a good Christmas dinner. Tomato soup, simple but a winner. I love the tomato
A
soup.
starter for Christmas dinner is weird to me. We just
Oh, don't
go
do
right
this
into
again,
dinner.
Mr. Keegan. Don't, because you shamed me
breakfast?
the last time.
I didn't shame you.
You did. You said you
Didn't.
discussed it
You have
in
a
the
prawn
pub.
cocktail- you have a prawn cocktail.
Yes, you said you discussed it in the pub with your mates, and everybody agrees. Peter, you're weird for having a prawn cocktail.
Didn't say it was weird.
Is that-
I just
Oh,
thought
cocktail, we have
it's-
prawn
we don't-
cocktail every
we
single
don't do
year.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
but
prawn
do you have
cocktail.
breakfast
What?
on Christmas Day? Do you have breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay, we have
Yeah,
a
bacon
fry up
butties, they're
early,
like-
and then we
Open
have
the
things. We
present.
don't have a
Sorry,
starter.
just to interject, sorry, you need to learn on this kind of a show, okay? If you do anything that deviates from what James does,
Not at all.
You're
Not
weird.
at all. We're just
You're
having
weird.
a conversation here. I'm not trying to enforce my values on other people. You know.
At Christmas, we wake up, we open the presents, then we have bacon butties, then we have lunch, and lunch
Yeah.
will be a 3-course meal at Christmas. Always a prawn cocktail starter with your roast dinner,
Yeah,
and then
we don't do the
whatever
starter thing, we
buddy's
just-
mum bought. And
Just
then
jump straight into the main.
then evening is always like cheese boards and shit and leftover meat.
Yeah, leftover meat.
Oh,
Leftover
my,
picky
my
bits
moist
and
maker
cheese and-
sandwich. I do. Yeah, it's
Moist
brilliant.
maker
The-
stuff.
the-
Yeah.
That's what my wife calls it. The next day, I have the next day we have leftover turkey, chips, and curry in gravy. Anyway, sorry, back to Unbox It. My favourite three-course Christmas dinner will be a good Christmas feast, entree, tomato soup or Caesar salad. Nice. Oh, lamb, roast lamb, turkey, ham, roast potatoes, apple sauce, mint jelly gravy, and then pavlova for dessert. I'm coming around yours.
3 meats at
I'm coming
Christmas
around
dinner
yours.
is ambitious.
nuts.
Like, imagine getting all
Oh,
that cooked
no,
and
we
ready
do-
to go at once.
Yeah,
Do
we
three
do that
meats?
as well. Yeah.
Oh,
Minimum
we only do-
3.
We do ham, honey glazed ham, and then turkey. We don't do anything else.
Guys, I think this all means we should do a food show. How many-
Food show.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%.
We always do have the debate mind. I've wanted to do a food show for a while actually, but we always do the debate because my mother absolutely objects and will not put Yorkshire puddings on a Christmas dinner. Whereas I would quite, I love a Yorkshire.
Yeah, I love
I would
you.
like a Yorkie. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry this is going on forever.
But we've still got more questions to go. Yeah,
I know.
The chat is going faster than we
I
can
know.
catch up on them, and I'm starving. So let's
I
wrap this
can't
up.
eat
like-
seafood. Reminds me of bugs. Yeah, I'm the same. I don't forget the plum pudding with Brant custard and double.
Custard and double cream.
Yeah. IKEA shellfish pod. You know how to live. Oh, I'm geet posh. Love the IKEA Swedish meatballs and mash. It's quite nice. Prawn cocktail. We're back to Fanny Craddock. Thanks tonight. Is amazing. I just wait till 2 to go to the grandparents and stuff my face with ham. Yeah, I love a nice ham. That's so wrong. And he grew up without wallpaper. Ignore him. I forgot. Say I remember that. No noshing involved. I love a Christmas nosh. Prawn cocktail is the start of a Christmas dinner, followed by a turkey dinner. And see, we've now elevated in the chat. We've moved away from the original question. Now we're talking Christmas dinner. Prawn cocktail is the start of a Christmas dinner, followed by a turkey dinner and cheesecake.
Nice.
My family enjoy a fresh morning nosh on Christmas. Yorkshire are great, but not on Christmas dinner. Jesus, I think what we did. Food shows seem to get more subscribers, I think, on absolutely Terry. That's what I mainly watch on YouTube. Terry is food shows.
You
Yeah,
certainly
so my
opened up a can of worms with that question, Peter.
What? Just
Gary
go live
eats
for an hour and
one of
just
my
talk
favourites.
food.
Yeah. I've often thought I'd love to do a food show where we're
so would
recording
I.
what we're eating stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
Jesus, God.
Okay, that's the end of the
Stop
show,
talking.
everybody.
Let's
So
stop
I'm done. Just kidding. I believe, James, you are next.
Follow that one, Keegan.
Follow that one.
Follow that one.
I don't even know what the question is. I'm like, yeah, go for it. I'm worried now. What's your? I just want to talk about food more. What's your favorite historical setting? So, like, you know, a setting that when you hear a movie coming out and it's in this time period or in this place, you're like, oh, that sounds really cool, or like comics you like or books you like in them. So, I love pirates. I'm a huge pirate fan. I think anything with like a swashbuckling adventure. So, like any movie in that kind of time period. I love my Pirates of the Caribbean, like Master and Commander, even like a more dramatic version. I really like that. Yeah, like some of my favorite games, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. It's in that setting as well. Love it. Love the kind of 60s ones as well. You know, classics. Treasure Island. You know, so like yeah, I've always loved pirates. And I just love the history of it. I love reading about like Calico Jack and Blackbeard and all those. So.
I mean, I have to say, my initial answer would be futuristic history period that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm more inclined to watch films about the future, but I am as you know from spending time with us in London. I do like my wartime history. I just find the time period, particularly of World War II, absolutely
Feel nostalgic
fascinating.
about it?
I do. I remember the day. Yeah. No, I do feel nostalgic because my grandparents fought in it. You know what I mean? And I remember it's a key memory for me, sitting with my granddad. Both grandparents were in World War II, but sitting with my granddad, who was bedbound when I was a young lad, and him telling us stories of his years in the prisoner of war camps and what they did to survive and things like that.
Really?
Yeah. So all of that, I just find the period absolutely horrifying, but I find it really interesting, and I do like a good war movie, if I'm being honest. So probably for me, the 40s, World War II kind of era, I enjoy those kind of I wouldn't want to be there. Don't get us wrong, Jesus. But certainly I enjoy that kind of time period in terms of watching movies and things like that. And I love getting it back to comics. I do love particularly like a Captain America comic set during World War II. I loved Captain America 1. I thought that was amazing, you know, in terms of him fighting the Nazis. Yeah. There we go. That's my answer.
When you put up this question, I thought you meant like a historical city or some kind of historical monument. So I got confused there. But
Oh, I mean, a city. Yeah, that's.
but I was gonna pick the Grand Canyon because I was at the Grand Canyon once, and it was just mind-boggling that the Grand Canyon, just looking at the depth of it and everything, you know.
Yeah.
But it was so beautiful. But now that I think about the question more, I'm gonna have to agree with Peter. Something to do with World War II and documentaries, that historical setting. When we were in England, we went to that museum.
Yeah.
I could have stayed there the whole freaking day. I mean, just something about, I watch all these documentaries on Netflix about World War II. I've seen the TV show Band of Brothers and the two subsequent series based on that genre, and just something to do with World War II and just the whole historical, you know, art, the whole historical moment. But like Peter, I would not want to be anywhere around there. It was horrific, you know. So, but it would be World War II.
For me, I like the sort of medieval England stuff.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
we like
that's what's
the
happening.
like Viking shows and stuff like
Nice
that,
and
all
stuff,
about
yeah.
the the Saxons and all that kind of period of time where England was split up into 5 different basically kingdoms and all that kind of stuff. I love all that kind of stuff. That era for me. Anything that's like swords and
I love
battlefield fighting.
I am fascinated by the whole kind of Camelot era
Yeah.
and stories
Yeah.
and things like that. I think that's really interesting.
Sorrel, have you ever read the comic book? Me and Peter have mentioned it more than once. Camelot 3000.
No.
That's very cool.
You got to read that book.
Yeah.
I'd get
get
your
the-
pen out.
get the
Have
pen.
that one. Get the pen. This is like, what is it? Is it Captain America 2 where he's got the notepad that he keeps writing down all the things he's got to
Yeah,
catch
yeah.
up on? Yeah.
There
You
you go.
know, they're saying that when England and it's in its most dire need, you know, said King Arthur would come back, and it goes from there. You know, so it was really good. It was a really good series, like 12 episodes long or 12 issues long.
Yeah. It's a great story.
Yep.
Great story. Lots of great comments in the chat, guys, but just for the kind of the interest of time, I am just kind of showing them on screen, but some great comments. Thank you very much for those, guys. Have we all answered? Egypt would be really interesting, mind, but again,
I love an ancient Egypt. Yeah.
yeah,
I would like to see how the hell they build those pyramids. Just
Yeah.
that's something that's always bugged me. You know, every time I see articles every now and then, I was like, how the hell? If it was man labor, it was like slave labor. I mean, those
Yeah.
people must have been crushed. You know, put up those stones. You know.
Feudal Japan, it's a great one as well. Samurai
good
and,
as well.
and stuff. So that's always
Yeah.
Fuzzy saying Al Capone prohibition. I always remember for every time we go to Florida, do you know how people are creatures of habits? I think we've been to Florida 6 times now. But every time we'll go to an Al Capone experience, which is in Florida area. I don't know if you've done this one, Sorrel, where basically you go along to this great big when it first started, it was a big warehouse. Now it's getting a bit more built up. But you go and you bang on the door and the little eye slot opens and you've got to give them the code name. And when you give them the code name, you go in through the door and it's a speakeasy. And the first time we went, I was maybe 13 or 14 and my hair was bright ginger. And in America, I don't think there's a lot of ginger.
There's not.
So all the dancing girls were going wild and I was mortified. But they were calling us red. And then they do a stage show and it's like an all-you-can-eat and drink night out and stuff, and it's phenomenal. If you ever go to Florida, it's called Capone's. If you
Yeah.
ever go to Florida, go and do it. 'cause it's really
I've never
fun.
done that one, but there's one that used to be there years ago called Tina and Tony's Wedding, and it was basically you like the scene from The Godfather. It's an Italian wedding where they're marrying into the mob, and you get to basically be a part of the ceremony, like the whole be a part of the wedding kind of thing, and all the shenanigans that go on and stuff. And it's like a dinner themed show, and it happens all completely around you. It's mental.
Yeah, that's very similar to this. And
Yeah,
that's right. I saw
Themes
that
of the
LN
shows are great.
Studios that the checklist that Caps
Oh, yeah.
use and is different in every country. So
Yeah.
it's more culturally relevant to
Yeah.
each country they showed the film in. It's really
Oh, wow.
great little touch. Yeah, great little touch. Dinosaurs. Wow, Kev, that would be really interesting to see. Samurais, second choice. Yeah. Killer, I can't pronounce that. guys.
Kilmainham. That's in Dublin.
Ah, okay. Right.
Yeah, that's like the
Very
Michael Collins, like Irish 1916 Rising kind of thing. It's a great
Very
choice.
cool.
That's good ones.
American Wild West era. Yeah, of the 40s. Good stuff.
Cool. Sorrel, you're up next. You ready?
Yeah.
You remember the question?
Nope.
You're fitting right into this show. Who remembers your questions? Here you go.
Yeah, if it's a toy from your childhood that you wish you still own now, so it's something that you had and you've lost and you want it back.
Go on, I think you go first.
Okay, so mine, I seen the question ahead of time, so I had time to think about it. When I was a kid, I used to have these. I had Hot Wheels, and the tracks that came with them, and ones that did the loop.
Yeah, the big orange tracks.
Yes, I used to love playing that. It was just endless fun, simple fun. Just putting that little Hot Wheel on top and just seeing it loop, seeing the loop, and I would just play with that with hours. So that'd be my choice.
When I was a kid, I won a Crash Bandicoot like teddy bear in a crane machine. Now I can't remember if the crane machine was in Tenerife or not, so it might have been. There's like a thing back in the day. There was a thing called a fake Crash, so it's like these kind of knockoff Crash Bandicoot plushies that have like a big unibrow and stuff like that, and it wound up becoming a character in the game. So they're really valuable, but I think it's just a cool thing to have one of those from then. So I don't know if it was a real one or if it was one of those. But one time I was with a group of like neighbor kids, and I left it on at the with one of them, and I came back and it was gone. And I was like, "Where's my thing?" "Oh, we don't know where it went." I was like, "I left it here. It was there." So they obviously pinched it on me. But I think because I won it in a crane, I would have kept that throughout the years, because it's like I so rarely win things. But yeah, no, I wish I still had. So that'd have been cool. It just sucks that it got nicked off me like pretty quick after I got it as well.
I'm gonna go soppy again, I'm afraid. So I am I am very lucky to own a lot of vintage toys behind us. So they might not be the ones that I originally had, but part of my collection is I've purposefully gone back and bought toys, figures that I knew were meaningful to us in the past. So I've got Master of the Universe original. All of this is original. Master of the Universe, Transformers, Mask, Sectors, Visionaries, Battle Beasts, Galaxy Rangers. I've just got some new ones of all that kind of stuff. So I guess one that sticks in my mind is, like I say, a soppy one. But I used to have a stuffed toy, which was about year big, seal. And do you know how when you're younger you have a teddy bear that it's your comfort blanket or whatever, and that was called Sammy the Seal. And the reason it sticks in my mind is because my dad used to, when I was younger, read us bedtime stories. That's how we got into comic books. He used to sit and read stories and stuff like that. And we had a night where we sat, and he said, "Where's Sammy? Don't know where Sammy is." And I was like, "Oh." So we're looking around and stuff like that. And then when we looked up, Sammy was on the curtain rail above the bed. So like at the back of the room. And I was like, "Wow, my dad's house, Sammy getting there?" And what I didn't know was my dad had attached a bit of fishing wire to Sammy. He'd put it along the side of the room, down into the bed and into his hand. So I'm looking and saying, "Oh," and he's saying, "How's Sammy getting there?" And then he started tugging it, and the fucking seal moved. And I nearly shit my pants. And I was like, "Oh!" And then he did it again, and it moved forward and all that kind of... Anyway, point of the story is I don't have that anymore. And since my dad passed away last year, that's become quite relevant in my mind, thinking I wish I still had that, just because it's attached to such a formative memory of mine of me and my dad. So yeah, love that.
Awesome.
When I was a kid, my dad went bankrupt, so we didn't have a lot of money. And we used to get a lot of my toys from like car boot sales. I had a lot of pre-owned stuff, and it's like a flea market for the Americans. So we would go there on a Sunday, and I'd get given like a couple of quid in my pocket, which in the 90s is a lot of money, and I could get all sorts of car boot in the 90s for £2. And I bought the big blue WF wrestling ring that made the 1, 2, 3 ding ding with all the noises and stuff, and I started slowly buying all the original like action figures for it. So like you had the Undertaker that you turned him his heart went douche, and then you had the Hulk Hogan that did the snap with the wrists and all that kind of stuff. I had all them wrestlers, and like I say, they all interact with this ring. You push the 3, 2, 1, it's the Undertaker. You push all the little buttons on it to make it talk. I wish I still had that. And it had the little flag that you put inside it for a flag match, and I would love to have that back.
Good stuff. Happy memories, isn't it? Happy memories. Let's see what people have said. And studios, it's past my bedtime, guys. Me as well. I'm an old man.
2 hours.
I should have had me cocoa and me nightcap on by now. Should be tucked up in bed. All of my Master of the Universe stuff, you can still get a lot of it, Kev. I know it's different not having the ones that you had, but I've gotten a lot of joy from going to toy fairs and picking up figures that I remember having and stuff like that, and they're all stood behind us here. I was obsessed with Monster Wrestler. Oh, Wrestlers in my pocket.
yeah.
Monsters in my pocket. Had hundreds, no idea what happened to them. I don't have an answer for this. I've still got all my Thunderbirds, my Wolverine figure, and my Star Trek ships. Good stuff, Andrew. About 15 years ago, my great uncle gave me a massive container of all these 80s G.I. Joe figures. And it upsets me thinking how much I could have had if I'd kept them and sold them now. Yeah, that's the kicker. And again, Efren will have similar stories, but I remember my dad, when I started getting into comics when I was 12, 13, telling his tales of how he was collecting comics and buying comics at the time when you got your X-Men 1 came out, Fantastic Four 1, and he had them all, and he used to read them, and then very ahead of his time, I guess, he used to read them and then charge kids at school to read them, so they didn't have to buy the comic, but he would get a whatever.
Little businessman.
Yeah,
cool.
but they were obviously, the comics didn't have value back then, so as soon as they were finished, just in the bin. And Efren, I know you're probably the same. You probably had in your hands as a younger man a lot of these big name books that now be worth a fortune.
Oh, you'd rip the cover and put it on your wall or something.
yeah.
You know, or panels that you liked. And
I used to cut out the Marvel value stamps. Wow.
Yeah.
It is a miracle that books from like the 1930s,
absolutely.
the 40s, 50s knock around still. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
I remember very few toys from my childhood, and my mum says I didn't have many, which may frame my attitude to buying toys now, but I did have the Battle Chest, He-Man and Skeletor. Oh yeah, they were nice figures. Battle Beasts, love Battle Beasts with the little holograms on the chest. Yellow Tank from Small Soldiers, love that. I've never seen Small Soldiers.
Oh,
That's a good movie.
Great movie.
It is an absolute classic. I love that movie so much.
Original SNES with the box and stupidly sold it as we needed the cash. Most regrettable sale.
That's sometimes I just chalk it up to, listen, I need the money now. So take a little loss on it, like you desperate times, whatever.
My wife's had the same Avon Hedgehog puppet since she was a kid and was recently able to buy the very same one for her so she can keep the OJ safe. She cried and no. Chris, you lulled us into a false sense of security there. I thought this was a lovely touching moment, and then you slipped in a noshing. It was beautiful. I'm loving the fact we keep saying this word, and I'm not convinced Efren knows what we're talking about.
Got no idea.
We're probably going to have to explain to Efren what a nosh is after the show. Is that right, Efren?
Drink?
Yes, Efren, it is a kind of a drink. Yeah. We'll explain it later on. The being rude, Efren. The being rude. The original Lego where you made simple things like houses, but it didn't have enough back then. Several Christmases and birthdays where I built an 8-foot Empire State Building. I miss the good old days of Lego where you just, like you say, had bricks and you used your imagination instead of paying £600 for the most elaborate bloody Death Star on the planet. Johnny 7 gun. That'd be very cool. There was one robot plushie I got from Card Factory is when I was 8 and I loved it. I'm not sure what happened. And last year I saw it in a machine in Blackpool and I spent around 70 quid trying to get it. Wow. Yeah.
Every time someone says Johnny 7 Gun, I just hear that guy from Jingle All the Way in my head. Johnny the Peter, Johnny the Peter.
I think my first Transformer was Skids. It's a very early memory. It disappeared way before I collected them. Yeah. Skids would be awesome. I'd like it, yeah. I got that yellow tank for my nephew from a charity shop for £2.50.
Wow.
I've still got a 5-foot plush dog that my granddad bought me the day I was born.
Wow.
Efren, don't Google it. No. That's a bargain. I was looking on eBay and the prices were crazy. There we go. 2 hours, Efren. 2 hours.
This has been the most interaction we've had since we've done this show. I put in a super bonus question. You guys want me to read it to you, or are we done?
Is it food-based, Efren? Because
No.
if it's food-based, thank God for that.
It's a blast from the past. I did it, but Sorrell's joining us for the first time. I don't think James ever might have answered this question too, but I think it's one of the very first questions Peter and I ever asked. It's a simple one, guys. what superpowers would you like to have? So I'll go first. I thought about this. Obviously, I'm just gonna say I'd just like to have invincibility. You know, I'd be able to go wherever I wanted to. And I think of Sue Storm's powers, the way she's manipulated them throughout the years. I think I would pick that, to be invisible.
That's a good
I think flight, just for the experience of it and the freedom that you'd have, that'd be really cool. And like, if you could just fly like normal, like a bird speed or whatever,
Yeah.
rather than like super. If you're a Superman able to fly across the world, then this other one I wouldn't need to pick. But teleporting, literally, if you want to go on holidays, you're there. Like, I think that'd be just the most convenient. No need to travel anywhere. Yeah, that'd be good.
That was cool.
Sorrel?
Just see Chris's answer. Invisibility.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Just the ability
You
to go
two.
invisible.
Perverts.
Not for that purpose. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I would just be able to get into things, you know, just,
Yeah.
you know.
For me, I can't remember what I answered the last time, Efren, but for me, we've been talking about it tonight, I guess. So time travel.
Noshing.
The ability to not when I wanted. No, time traveling, being able to just move to any time period I want to, go to the future, see what happens, go back to different time periods and all that kind of stuff. And then Studios, we need a Red Bull in the morning to top up a coffee. Yeah, Terry, same, going through time.
Yeah.
Immortality, you wanna see
Yeah.
what happens.
It happens.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Mind control, think of all the knowledge. Wow. Wow.
I think we are done, guys. So,
Fuzzy.
finally.
Fuzzy, an ability to change into a makeup. Some good notion with invisibility. God. Invisibility, if you can walk through walls, etc. It's more like Harry Potter. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So, one more thing, guys. What's coming up on your channels?
Oh, God.
A notion. I'm expecting the Scooby-Doo toys to land with me tomorrow or Saturday, so I'll be doing the review of those on my channel over the weekend.
Nice. You guys? One good
We
scare?
had our live show on Friday, so go back and check that if you want all the news of the week, the last couple of weeks. And if you don't want to watch that, we have our review of The Strangers Chapter 2 is up on the channel today, standalone as well. And then we'll have I'll be right back on The Strangers Pray at Night later in the week as well.
Are you doing the live tomorrow, Pete?
So my live tomorrow with Andy is cancelled, so I'll probably, I don't know how I feel yet. We'll have to see, because I've done a lot of live shows this week, so the missus is kicking off a bit. So if I'm free tomorrow, I might do something. Failing that, I am going to go live on probably Saturday afternoon or Saturday night to do my comic rundown of what I've been reading this week. Then Tuesday, we're back with our usual episode of Panel Breakers. So the usual stuff on that. And then end of the week, there'll not be a One Good Scare because me and James are in For the Love of Horror. But I might see if we can go live on For the Love of Horror or something like that. We'll see.
Or if we have
live
time
from
to
your
do, we might pre-record something or whatever if you have time.
Yo, I want to see you go live from the hotel in your PJs, you matching little PJs.
That's our private time. No, we're at the convention boat nights anyway. We're Friday.
Oh,
We have the
that's
screening,
right, yeah,
and Saturday we're at
party,
the party thing. So
I don't do them social. I can't.
Also, Peter and I are going to be doing our advanced orders probably within the next week or so for a conference.
Yeah, we'll plan that for next week, maybe, Zephyr.
Next week, yeah. Well, guys, I think that was it. This was a lot of fun. I can't believe we went over 2 hours. Jesus, man.
You're
We'll
welcome.
be back next month with a whole new set of questions, right, guys?
PJs right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wearing my Friday the 13th PJs right now.
You're in pajamas now.
But pajama bottoms, yeah. It was at 9 o'clock when we started this.
Which day?
Listen, we were live an hour before this. Me and Pete's been live a little
That's your own fucking problem.
I've been clenching my buttocks for the last hour and a half because I need the
Every
lube.
time I've watched this live stream, it's lasted about 40 minutes max.
We'll see. We asked thought-provoking questions. That's not going to take so long. But guys, I'm gonna let everybody go so we can go to the bathroom and stuff like that. Until next time, everybody. Bye.
Bye.